Hello, travelers, and welcome to the Heroes of Hearth Gate podcast. This is our pilot opening episode. Thank you so much for joining us, all those who have been following and supporting leading up to this. We are so grateful for you, but we're going to have a couple things to say before we just dive right in. So everyone's got a little thing they want to share, and then we're just going to get to it, because it's a D&D podcast. You knew it when you clicked it, and we're not going to waste any time. Ha ha.
Yep. First and foremost, we will not be having any crude humor or bad language in our content. That's pretty straightforward. No bad words, no inappropriate humor.
Also, no drugs and no illicit sexual content, so don't need to worry about that.
Since this is a D&D podcast, though, there's going to be descriptions of violence and peril, like you'd expect at a D&D podcast, or in any kind of D&D campaign. But we also want to note that this is a completely homebrew world. It's still in D&D, but Kyle has made it from scratch, so...
Yeah, that being said, even though we have all these clean things and it is D&D, the viewer discretion is still advised.
And just by way of announcement, thank you all for being here and starting this wonderful journey with us.
Well said, Darren. I will not say it any better, but I'm going to try because it's my part in this opening thing. But thank you again so much. We couldn't be able to do this without you guys, this incredibly supportive community. We are just incredibly grateful for you and hope that if you like it, you'll share it to your friends and that it's a good use of your time. That being said, we're going to jump right in.
Now, please keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle of your imagination at all times.
It's more fun if you put your hands up like this.
Okay.
In the beginning, everything was a consciousness. The everything that existed, this existence of life and power, decided to experiment with its abilities, experiment with itself and its gifts, and began creating things. Worlds of power, energy, of the elements, fire, earth, the elemental planes were formed. Worlds that were vast and infinite, but not in connection with each other. They shared the same space, but separate in their own ways. As these enormous places were formed, as this incredible power was put out, wells were created to continue giving life to these things after the consciousness of everything formed it. These wells gave birth to entities known as the primal elementals, beings of uncontrollable and endless power that just began to walk these planes of creation. In order to keep back the fire and the crazy torrents of water and storms that were created by these entities, the everything made a middle plane, a place to keep everything back, a place where, as if the universe were a home, a gate in front of the hearth of the flame to prevent the fire from destroying everything. The prime material was formed to be that gate. The name throughout time has stuck, and Hearth Gate was born. The everything created the elder god in order to govern the prime material plane. The elder god's role was to be a thinking, emotional, and caring respecter and governor of the prime material plane, to keep the primal elementals at bay and to keep this world as it was designed to be. As time passed, the beginning races, the first people of all time, the Magri, began to appear in the prime material plane. The first of these mortal races experienced a great tragedy, the event of which has been lost to history. As time continued to pass, the races came again onto the prime material plane. And the elder god recognized greatness in them and realized that he didn't have to rule alone. The three elf sisters, dying in great heroism, were accepted and passed through a trial which created them as gods as well. In a time of great war and conflict, Noon, Vaxus, and Dage were born into the pantheon of the prime material plane. This set forth the pattern of history throughout Hearth Gate. Gods arose through greatness, but that greatness came about through great struggle. One of these great struggles was a war fought between the gods and the primal elementals from their separate planes, coming and clashing with them. After the battle was won, and the primal elementals were put back into their worlds, the gods realized that they almost destroyed everything with their power, and made a pact, never to act directly in any plane, but to influence champions to move their will and their abilities so that the worlds would not be destroyed. This pact that they made was poorly timed, as entities of darkness had waited their turn. Creatures crawled out from the subterranean surfaces of the world and began to conquer and lay waste to the living world. Entities of horrific necromantic power and control of undeath, known as the Skull Eaters. They kept the world in subjugation for 250 years, preying on the weak at night and striking terror during the day. Until the Elder God was approached by the rest of the Pantheon, and he decided that the risk was worth intervening and was able to strike down their power. Stripped of all their strength, the Skull Eaters realized that they were mortal again, and the world recognized them for what they were. They chased the Skull Eaters. One final battle ensued, and the world once again knew peace. 9 years after the fall of the Skull Eaters, 9 years after their remaining followers were scattered throughout the world, a group was formed, and they went out hunting these creatures. This group dedicated themselves strictly to hunting the Skull Eaters so that the world would know peace without having to risk the world with the god's intervention. Those 9 years passed, and though these great events happened throughout the world and everything about them was grandiose and enormous, our story begins in a small port called Crosswinds, in the least significant land of all of the world, a place called the Fell Cerns. Within this insignificant town, there is a massive port city to the side of it that connects with the living areas, creating the Crosswinds as it stands. A young girl walks from the port, walking off of a ship, off of the dock and into town. She has something on her mind and tries to call other people's attention. However, no one listens to the young girl because they're all headed to a main square. The young girl follows, curious now what has got the entire town's attention. And she notices a wooden stand raised 10, 15 feet above the general commotion of the citizens of the Crosswinds. Standing upon this raised dais are 4 individuals with black hoods covering their faces, and 6 heavily armored individuals standing to the side, monitoring the rope necklace each wears. One of the armored figures walks forward, addressing the crowd. He pulls off his helmet, showing a pair of large, very magnificent draconic horns as this red-scaled dragonborn stands proudly, his armor glistening, showing off the chain mail and a slight half-cape that drapes off of his right shoulder. He has a large scar from his chin up covering his other eye. He stands, his helmet cupped in his arm, and addresses the crowd.
We stand before you, triumphant once again against the Skull Eater Scourge. We, the chosen hand of the god's wrath, smite once again their justice upon this darkness. Those standing before you have been accused, judged, and found guilty of crimes related to undeath, necromancy, and the Skull Eaters themselves. We make this a public demonstration instead of putting them down like the wild animals they are, for 2 purposes. To let you know that light will prevail, that the hand of wrath is among you and successful. And to those of you who are in the darkness and side with the Skull Eaters, let this be a message: the hand will find you, and this will be your fate. He points to one of the soldiers, who grips a metal rod connected to the wooden flooring of this raised dais. He grips it. The boards shudder underneath the feet of the hooded individuals, and the girl turns away as the crowd cheers. Sarah, would you please describe your character?
That's a great intro.
Oh man.
My character is pretty average in height and looks pretty... I don't know, you can't see much about her. She's got a cloak on top of a cloak on top of another cloak.
Pretty hot in there.
Yeah. And she's got a deep hood and a face and a wrap covering the bottom of her face, so you can't really see much. And she holds onto the one bag, that she has at her side to her with her, baggy clothes, and they're light in color and dirty and have weird stitches here and there into the different edges and folds of the fabric. That is Balasa. And am I supposed to...
The floor is yours. What do you do?
Cool.
The crowd continues. The crowd continues cheering. The crowd now. I mean, those closest to the event continue with jeering and shouting, but those near the back where you're at are starting to disperse. The main cause has passed. The main attraction is over, and people are going back to their average walk of life. It is a mid-morning event. The clouds are still loosely on the horizon. A cold wind blows, feeling like rain is probably on its way. There are still dampened puddles between the stone cobbles that mark the path of road in which a lot of people are moving. Carts are being pushed around, and people are speaking and bumping into each other as it is back to its normal day. What do you do?
Balasa, having turned away from the podium with all the things that happened, she turns to now the people turning away. Please, can you help me? I have this thing. She pulls up the scabbard. Do you know what this thing is and what this sign, where is this from? I need to find this, please.
You stop a middle-aged half-elven man. He seems a bit sour this morning. His eyes are heavily shadowed. His eyes themselves are a sort of steel blue color. You can tell his hair is pulled back into a ponytail, but is beginning to bald, the hairline receding a bit. He walks just normal, rough-spun tunic gloves. He looks at you at things. He's like, we have to set up shop. If you have problems, talk to the guards.
Fine.
Walks away from you.
The guards. Walking. Who else can I see in the crowd?
Would actually like Jenny to make a perception check.
Oh no.
The
I'm
bane of
going-
existence.
Okay. So that's 15?
15. First roll of the show. Not bad.
Let's hope it stays that way.
Yeah.
Look,
You hear, as you continue to pester some more present guards, you begin talking with people. It's always the same response. Someone trying to pawn you off to the next person. Like, oh, talk to the Hand of Wrath. Hand of Wrath is like, oh, you should ask the locals. They don't know it better. And the locals take you back to the guards.
Oh,
And it's
please,
this
can you
cycle.
help me?
You spend about 10 minutes arguing with people, and you hear a voice behind you, and you feel someone walk up. And Jenica, please describe your character.
Oh boy. Oh my. Okay, so you see behind you a lean, relatively tall, she's 5'10", tiger-looking woman. She's got, it looks like she has dark skin underneath all of the fur. It's relatively short fur, but mainly brown and orange. She just wears a halter top that looks like kind of stretchy fabric with some fabric hanging down around her waist and what look like to be leggings underneath. Her feet are relatively free. Her hair is in dreaded braids like to the side. It's kind of an orangish red color. And her eyes are like fiery orange. And this is Kore. So.
Excuse me. What do you want? I just need help.
You are looking for help.
Yes.
Do you not know what is going on here?
No, I just got off the boat and I have this thing, and do you know what the symbol is? And I hold this symbol. It kind of has like a star and rays coming out of it on this like kind of torn scabbard. I need to find the person who owned this. I want to find them and I want to take care of them. I find them.
Oh, okay, take care. Well, I am not one to judge. Well, do you know anything about the Skull Eaters?
Yes.
Okay, and so did you see what happened in the town square?
Yes, I didn't want to see it, but I saw it.
Well, that is what is going on right now. I do not know what your symbol is, but I can help you look for it if you'd like.
That would be great.
What do you do?
I don't know. Can we find the people with the symbol?
Would Corey know where to go from here then?
As you guys
know?
continue pestering people, a figure walks up to Corey, a humanoid, but he has reptilian features, not quite the grand and proud form of the Dragonborn who spoke earlier, but more like a gecko, just simple scales, little feathers poking out of the back of his head. He walks up, and he's wearing sailor's clothes, loose billowed sleeve, simple leather belt tied around, loose workman's pants. He comes up and taps you on the shoulder and steps back a little bit.
Corey, jumps.
Sorry to disturb, dude. We have a bit of a problem that we would like to ask you about. Are you free at the moment? It'll be quick, I promise.
What kind of problem?
You're a druid.
Yes,
Yo, what now?
I am. It's not common for my people to be druids, but
I mean, I've never seen your people, but that's great.
that's,
Good for you.
you're not the first to say that.
So, do you have time right now? Is this the right time?
I mean, I'm a bit busy.
We only have
but-
about 3 or so hours before the Reach has us leave the port.
The Reach?
Yeah, the Triad Reach. We are in their territories now, their waters. They control who stays as long. There are other ships coming in. We're just here to refuel and be on our way. If you would, it's quick, I promise.
What is it you need?
Okay, my name is Captain Sawtooth. I didn't give it my mended. He turns and he snaps his finger, and you see some other burlier but less intelligent, semi-toothed figures. A human and a male human about, I'd say 20-25, and a half-orc. He's like, hey, bring this stowaway. We have an incident where someone came on our boat, and we don't know what to do with this person, so we thought maybe we could talk to you about it. And you bring it, and the half-orc comes slowly, one leg dragging behind him, and you see, clutched to the leg of this half-orc, Darren, can you describe your character?
What did you say? Stowaway.
So, clutched to the leg of this half-orc is... Well, it's a child tiefling. You can't be more than 10 years old. Purple with some horns that are rather large for his kind of scrawny, lean frame that come out from the back, curl down, and then jet out kind of near the tips of his eyes. He doesn't seem very interesting at first, but he's wearing studded leather armor and some really messy clothes with a small dagger on one side. And then when he turns and looks in your general direction, you notice that he has different colored eyes. His left eye is gold and his right is silver.
The lizard man, Sawtooth, once again speaks, but get over here, boy! You're like,
No,
grabs you by the head, pulls you forward.
What are you doing, this child?
He's
Child,
not
don't...
Sawtooth.
pops you off of the you know what? Then, because of massage his legs,
Did he really clean that head? Are you okay?
I'm fine.
They're asking the man if he's okay. He's fine. He can carry child, he's fine.
Sawtooth, who are these people?
Sawtooth sets him down and squats down. He looks up to you guys like, hey, I need to talk to him. Boy, we can't afford your appetite on our boat. So, we are going to try to help you find a place to stay here in town. This is a nice town. Lots of people coming in. Very safe. Triad Reach controls this city. They are very safe. Very safe. Now, introduce yourself to the nice druid. And he gestures towards the tiger pattern woman who wears a loose, you have a coat over your shirt?
Yeah,
I
it's
can't
just a
remember
halter top.
the halter
That's
top.
all she's wearing right now.
And poking out of all of the dreads behind her is a small feline face, like a little lion head with tiny little horns. It's little wings begin to unfurl. It's
Hey,
What's that?
crawls back into the braids.
it's a good question. What is it?
This is Uku.
We like it.
That doesn't
Introduce
explain.
yourself to the nice druid lady, child.
Oh, so I'm
Hi.
just invisible here.
We're us.
What is your name, small one?
We don't have a name.
We don't have a name. Everyone has a name.
We don't. We're just us.
Oh boy.
Alright.
What does that even mean?
It means we're us. You are you, and she is her, and we are us.
I got it.
I'm going to
got
call
grammar.
you we.
It took a long time, but I got it.
That is all. I'm gonna take Ugo off my shoulder and be like, you play nice. These people are now our friends. No. It's a baby. He's a baby. Just start playing with him and he will be fine.
Okay, what do you plan on doing?
Flies back on the Corey's shoulder.
Okay, maybe they don't play so nice. We got to learn how to fight.
We like it.
I'm glad you like it. You don't want you to hurt him though. It's just a baby.
Balassa turns to Kore. What's your plan doing with child and, your thing? This.
My thing.
Yes, I don't know what it is.
This,
Yes.
it's a baby chimera.
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 You see, it is part lion and part goat and part whatever else it wants to be when it gets older, I guess.
What?
Yeah. He comes with me where I go.
That's cool. That's nice.
Trying to train him how to fight, but apparently little children are too strong for him right now.
Speaking, what are you doing on his boat?
We got on the boat.
But
But
why?
why?
Well, because we were getting away from the people.
The people. Got to be more specific here.
The people, like,
Mean?
I look around. Do I see soldiers still?
Actually, at this point, you notice that the Dragonborn man with his helmet did that proclamation at the beginning, approaches your small trio as you're in the middle of the street and there's like carts trying to get around you, people kind of shouting across, and the Dragonborn approaches. Is like,
Sorry to disturb. I don't have much official authority, but you are blocking traffic. Would the three of you please take this to either the side roads or inside?
Yes, we can do that.
I just wanted help.
Thank you and good day.
and he puts on his helmet. What you notice, there are large spaces in the back where his horns can fit in nicely, and he strides off. To his side, you notice a medium-sized, crushing hammer, and a large-scaled shield occupies the other shoulder, where the cape does not. On his cape, there is a symbol. You notice a simple shield design on it, with a sword impaling through it. But on top of this embroidered design is painted a large gray hand stamped on top of it.
Wow, he's like Sawtooth, but scarier. Hey, Sawtooth, did you see?
You now notice that all of those sailors are gone. The human, the orc, the lizard folk, they are all gone. And the city continues to bustle and move past. A cart passes by with a middle-aged to, getting aged human lady, and she's like, I have cabbage! Picks one up and continues to move her cart. Another one comes by, and a half-elven, teenager is pulling the cart, and a pair of very similar twin half-elven girls are holding up carrots, and one's holding fish. Produce! Produce! As you are now, once again, in the motion of the crosswinds.
How far away is the cabbage woman from me?
I'd say about 10 or 15 feet.
I would like to go and steal a cabbage.
I'm gonna be talking to Balas and
The adults, you do notice that the small purple child wanders off.
You're right.
We do notice?
Yeah, you watch these, sort of sneaks off.
Sneaky one that.
No, not really.
No, yeah, that was sarcasm.
I don't.
What was that?
Gotta whip out the character sheet, guys.
Hey.
Integral to this game.
Kind of important.
16.
And with that,
I'll get to that after this conversation. You guys watch him work away. A couple walks past, a man and an elven woman. They walk past, and you notice a little purple kid. Go. It's like in the spy movies when the bus passes by and the guy on the side walks. Gone.
wait, now we don't know where he went?
That would be
He's
a perception check if you want to look for him.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay, well, we saw he leave and now he's
We
gone.
saw you leave.
Oh no.
That's pretty good.
No, that was 10.
10. Alright.
19.
19. Cora, you see two little purple hands come across the carriage with the cabbages and
Where's the book go? I mean, where's the... Yes.
She's just gonna be standing there, just... He's right there.
you feel a small tug on your jacket.
Me?
Melissa, look down and there they are. Their cabbage. Biting it like a large green apple.
Do you know what money is? It buy you don't know steal. I mean, you don't need to steal. No steal. Only if
We're just hungry.
necessary. Okay, do I actually have any loose coin?
No.
Okay, dang it.
You would have to check your character sheet, by the way.
I know what I have. I was just wondering if there was any loose coin.
No.
Okay, dang it.
Nothing loose.
How did you do that?
Magic trick.
How do we do what?
How did you get from here to
Oh.
there so quickly?
We walked.
I do
With
have
our
loose
feet.
coin.
But you are back here without us seeing.
I have at least one loose coin.
Maybe? Did
Maybe.
you see us? Or no?
I don't understand this boy.
At this point, the carriage stops right in front of you guys, being pulled by a horse. A heavier set, half-orchid woman leans off the carriage and is like, "Get out of the road!"
Okay, I grab child and I drag into an alleyway.
How are you grabbing child?
By the collar and dragging into
I was about to
alleyway.
grab him by the horn, so like that's good.
Okay, you grab whatever and I grab the other.
Okay.
Alright, from the square that you guys are at, there are a couple of buildings nearby. One of them is an apothecary shop called the Vitals, Vials, and More. There is also two maintenance buildings. One is for the city's sewage, and one is for the well and water management. Their signs are a little less fancy than the apothecaries.
Why are we being dragged?
Because we're in road and I don't like too much attention, only when I want the attention. And I don't want it right
I
now.
don't ever want attention, but we need to get out of people's way, causing
They acting strange?
focus.
Yeah, we think they're acting strange.
Oh no.
Really weird.
Is there a problem?
You're not at all like the other cat we know.
Other.
He sure was much better. And we just kind of walked in the general direction he was being dragged.
As you guys get off of the road, you are now on a larger, the cobbles are left in their raised area, so it's like a sidewalk with large, sort of cemented stone areas, where it's a loose stone, where it's more like a tile on the road made of cobblestones that lean down to the sides, allowing water to drain during rain, which is very common in port cities. The sidewalk also has a bit of a lean to it, pointing towards where the road meets the sidewalk, and there are small gutters that lead to little pitfall drains, like gutters and gutter falls for the road.
Okay.
Okay, we're out of way. What does hungry child need?
What
He's
is it
got a
you are
cabbage.
looking for? Are you here for some purpose, or did you just get on the boat because the other person in your head said so?
We got on the boat to get away from the people like the dragon. And
Guards.
then we
The dragon one.
got here.
I don't like
With
guards
sawtooth.
either. Either?
Where were you before this?
Wherever the boat was.
Don't know what the boat was. Do you not know what the boat was?
It was in the docks.
Where was the boat before? I don't know. All of the people left before they gave me any information.
Okay, it's not information not important. We need to find what to do. I need help first. Okay, I forgot. We need help. You need help. Druid, what do you do?
We'll show him this sign. Maybe he know. I do not know what
I
this
pull
symbol
out the
is.
broken belt buckle and show the sign, the symbol with the stars, the rays. Do you recognize this?
To be a little bit more specific, it looks like a sun where every other ray is either pointed and elongated or curved.
Like
And on
this?
the inside is a curved rhombus, sort of diamond shape, hollowing it out. The symbol is embossed in a bronze metal onto a loose leather scabbard, about the size of the knife you carry.
Do we recognize anything about this at all?
You do not, and neither does the other.
It's pretty.
Fine. I need other persons.
Well,
Can we see?
No.
Okay.
so wait. There are only 2 of you?
I mean,
Well.
I only see one.
Well, he
But-
keeps talking to somebody else.
He has ghost.
There's a small metal sound, like a ringing of a small bell. It's like, you notice the door of the vials, and more opens up, and a small gnome lady. She's just wrinkled with age, her hair pulled up into this, like, fuzz ball of a hair bun, and she kind of walks up to you guys. She's got one arm holding the other, as that arm being held holds onto a cane. She wears a small purple dress, which seems a bit worn, the color a bit bleeded from the arm area and like the waist. She walks up to you guys. She stands about, I don't know, like 3 feet tall, a little bit taller than you. She's like, "Are you all lost?"
It would appear to be so. We're looking for something.
Multiple things.
Well, the best places to look are where the people are. No one's coming to my shop today, but there's an inn nearby. It's a lot of those hand soldier people, they've been staying there. They're very nice, those ones, very polite, very healthy too. It's astonishing that their figure, it's amazing. I make muscle tonics and I'm astounded. I'm rambling again, aren't I? My old bones. It's just a bit, and she points like across the square and down the road, at least towards the docks. This is actually the road you came from. She's like, "It's just over there. It's the one that looks a bit like a large piano. It's called the Rest a Spell. It's the closest one. Unless you all want to go around the other corner and stay at the actuary's place. He always has room."
We don't know what an actuary is.
Yes.
Neither does he.
We like the old woman.
I do not.
Mother likes you back.
I see.
If you need any potions, things that help with saddle soreness, or I guess seasickness, I've got it all.
Saddle soreness.
What was your name again, Miss?
I'm Myrtle.
Actually, now that I
Myrtle.
think about it, what's your name?
Myrtle with a Y.
Myrtle.
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 It's not important that you're coming in. My knees starting to act up. It's gonna rain soon. Better make up your minds. And she walks over. You notice that her door has 2 knobs. One at like her height, and one at like the
Normal
regular
people
human height. And she twists it. You watch as the other knob also turns and pushes open the door with a small ding, ding, ding. She like waddles back into her store, uses her stick instead of her hand holding her others. You notice that it's her left hand gripping her right. And she uses her stick and closes it.
Well, if we need anything, I guess she has things.
Let's find people in it. I can ask
What
people
did she
to-
say it was? Rest a spell?
It's down the store,
Kind of, I don't understand.
the direction by the docks.
The dogs. Did you not come from that direction already?
Yes, I did. I just
Okay.
like, came. Let's go.
What should we call both
You
of
said-
you?
What?
Both of this person who is 2 people.
He said we.
Is it actually we?
Is what we.
Are
I'm
you
going to-
we?
We are us. Us is we.
Alright, depending on
We
the
don't have a
situation, I'm going to call you we, I'm going to call you us.
But what if we're
Okay.
us?
Never
I
mind.
mean,
Well, then what do we call you two?
I'm Kore.
I am Balasa.
Are you Balasa?
I am Balasa.
That did not sound really convincing.
I am Balasa. No questions. This is my name.
Let's get to the inn so that we're not in the middle of the road again, just bickering. Alright, I'm going to
As
the
the
inn.
incredibly obvious trio of you cross the street, the small purple tiefling boy with mirrored eyes looking everywhere, the tiger woman with the small monster on her shoulder, and the essentially mummy walk
Very
across.
big mummy. Mummy not
The Russian nesting doll. You notice the wind is picking up and it's a bit colder. You can see across the ocean. There's a massive bar, like made of stone and wood, and it's right before the horizon. And larger ships stop at it, and smaller ones sort of dinging off of it to the port. You two know this, having come from there. This is the breaker dock. This is where the larger ships stop, and just past that are a heavy grouping of darker gray clouds beginning to gather a little bit stronger and spread out a bit, covering the edge of the horizon to the northeast. Crossing the road, all of the carts have been pushed out of this area and start heading more of a southeastern direction away from where you're at, further into the city, taking a moment to see if there are any more cabbages around. I don't know how to call you either.
You guys.
The city continues and goes upward a little bit. There is a massive wall that's quite a bit of ways. It's a large city, and there are some grandiose buildings. A massive manor stands out near the center of it, but just adjacent to that is a large round building with smaller buildings built off of it. And it's unique to you because, like, small shuttles are floating around it, just this three-dimensional building in the middle of this flat dock town. As the rest of this place is made of stone and wood, and a lot of the metal, like the doorknobs and the window seal frames, you notice are warped with a bit of the sea wind, of that salt sort of corroding things away. The town seems old, but that building is a little startling. There's lots of other things you notice closer to the gate. You hear a lot of noise past that curved building and see that's where the cart's headed, but you've lost sight of it with other structures and people crossing in the way. As you cross the square, you notice that the stand has been taken down. The 4 hooded individuals now lie in the back of a cart are being wheeled away on a horse-drawn cart, and sitting upon the horse is a different kind of soldier. Instead of the silver and more like tactical armor of the Dragonborn who came and spoke to you, there is a gold-helmed individual. His entire identity seems to be concealed. Heavily gauntleted, greaves. The horse itself has an armored face plate on it, and on the back of this individual is a symbol of a triangle. And each of the sides of the triangle are written in Elvish, Dwarvish, and Common, "For the glory of the Reach." And a staff stands in the middle of the triangle from the base of it up to the top corner, a hammer from the other corner back down, and a sword. This is the symbol of the Triad Reach, the ruling governmental power. Crossing again, past now this where the event was and the regular sort of business and management area of the city has been, you approach the Rest of Spell. It has a series of windows, and though none of you actually know what a piano is, the building is shaped like a rectangle with like a fin attached to the end of it, fused together, like a curved area and this long sort of flat side. When you walk into it, if that's what you choose to do.
Yep.
What's the temperature?
Cold. For you, very, very cold.
Okay.
It's,
Can we go inside, please?
I would say circa 38 degrees Fahrenheit. Very cold.
Let's go inside.
We smell food.
I smell fire. Let's go.
Okay, wow.
Inside.
One track mind for all 3 of you.
Excuse. Right. He was 2.
I follow them inside.
Whereas...
No!
This is going to take a while to
Okay,
get
I
straight.
go in, I open the door, and walk into the inn.
As you enter it, you notice that the rectangular side of it it's a 2-storied area where it looks like the living spaces are, just the rooms and stairs leading up to the secondary rooms, and it cuts off on the end of it is also rooms. But the large curved area seems to be a theater of sorts, where there's a stage and there are tables set out, circular with 4 or 5 chairs around each, and on 2 sides of it, where the curved part meets the straight part, are 2 what looks like places where they order food or some sort of open bar system. There are lots of people in there, but most of them you notice are wearing more color scheme towards white, gray, or silver, patches of armor, or just regular workman leather clothes with where they could find armor put on. They seem pretty haphazardly put together, except for one stands out pretty significantly, standing in the middle of the room and doing what looks like a very bizarre dance, where it's like a deep squat, kicking out rapidly. A figure stands, shouting out a language you don't understand. And would you please describe your character, Jacob?
So Sayer is a platinum-haired woman. The left half of her head is shaved. Her hair extends, about mid-back. She's wearing a set of scale mail with heavy pauldrons, greaves, boots. It's amazing that she's dancing with all this armor on.
Yeah.
I'm amazed.
It's strong.
Yeah, and she's got platinum-colored eyes. And she's... You can tell by the fact that she's doing this dance and wearing what she's wearing that she's super ripped.
Yeah.
She's about 5'4".
We
She is short.
very much stay behind Kore and Balasa right now, kind of just peeking out. But
But how tall is Kore?
But it's 5'10".
I'll take it.
Okay, I'm gonna leap up. Hey!
And everyone else in the room's hey as well. The armored people stand and clap, and everyone begins to cheer as you now notice on the stand there's a small gnome fiddler. It's like just going down. Hey, just
Fire flames on the fiddle.
Yeah, he rests his arm, looks out, he's like, come on. Come on. There's a small bag just like full of coins. A half-orc woman walks up to you guys. She seems, as half-orcs go, probably a teenager, but could pass as like, an adult. She walks up, she has like pigtails sort of in the back. Her hair is like loosely curled, like a bit of just a wave to it. And she has what looks like remains of possibly yesterday's makeup, accentuating her eyes and cheeks, trying to fit in a little bit more, I suppose, with the in crowd, and you never know. She walks up to you guys, she's like, hey, welcome to the rest as well. Can I get you a table, or do you need a room?
Balasa yells, hey, with the group, for after really like a second after the group.
Are you in the dancing competition?
I like dancing. You
Yeah,
have this
the-
competition.
Yeah,
After
so
money.
the Hand of Wrath finished their Inquisition yesterday,
Ooh.
and we witnessed it today, the how would you call it, the end, and they're just celebrating before they leave town.
Oh,
So we can find you a free table, I'm sure. They're welcome. They move around pretty
where
easily.
can I sign up?
Well, we're entering in the finals, so it's
it
mostly
too
like a
late?
placing of a bet system.
I will
Oh,
do
you
it.
have a baby! She like turns down, like pats your cheek. She's like, oh wait, no, you're a child. Sorry, orc babies are taller.
we would like food.
Sure, do you guys need a seat?
Yes.
Please.
Like, just follow me, and
Somewhere away from the people.
she leads you
No,
into
I want
the
to
area.
dance, please, with the people. With the people.
As she attempts to lead you into the room as you continue saying, I do want to dance. She's like, oh, it's nearly the final round. We'll have another one after this one's done. You can enter after. But here is your table. It's, your basic wooden table in the middle of this area. Lots of these armored figures are very different from the local denizens. If you've noticed, in this town is mostly like half races. Elf, orc, you've probably noticed. There are various and more colorful races here. There's an elf-looking man with like paler yellow-brown skin. His ears point upwards, straight and kind of curve. He has these weird brown markings around the side of his face, and his armor is a bit more leather-based than like metal. There's a taller, hairier figure who sits, and he's about 7 feet tall, and is sitting in still a massive frame, and he's got this like shaggy mane of hair that drops to one side. His like large, almost paw hands kind of clap into the beat of the music that has now ended, but he hasn't noticed, and various others similar to this as you now sit. Zaire, you notice as a bundled up person, the druid you recognize, and this little kid take your table.
Oh, perfect. Hi, lady. You dance very, very well.
I'm not at the table yet.
We don't know if it's
That's what Zaire does.
At her table, where she was
Yeah, that's
sitting.
her
She
table.
knows it's her.
I would just finish dancing.
Yes, you weren't at table, but she will come here. I will wait.
Do we know it's her table?
That's why I talked to Zaire.
Just giving you my table, which means there's a lance and a shield and a sword on one of the chairs.
Oh,
The lance is
perfect.
actually fallen over.
We would like to pick up the lance.
I would say make a strength check, honestly.
Oh no.
You're gonna need it.
I say
that
that's
count?
16.
That's kind of like,
That's an
It's
attack.
14.
I'd say roll it again. That's
Okay.
kind of like crooked.
10.
There you
10.
go.
As you heave it up, you get it like the chest, and just breathing heavy, and just...
I take it.
I like storm over, snag the lance out of his grip. Hey!
Right behind Corey.
This isn't yours.
Sorry, we just were sitting down.
Yeah, at my table,
Oh,
Corey.
Perfect.
Do I know you? Wait. Oh, hi.
You know this fabulous lady? You dance well.
Yeah, darn straight I do.
Very, very briefly, but yes, I met her once.
Once. We spent like three days together. Come on, Corey.
I've got a lot on my mind, so
Jeez, I thought we were friends. Who are these jokers?
I never know how to deal with them.
Who are they?
I picked them up along the way.
What?
And she found me, and he also found me.
What's with the strange child?
Just a reminder to the cast for our non-video, those who enjoy it on the podcast level, please describe your gestures. There's a lot of that is being lost with just the audio file. Just a quick
That's
reminder
true, sorry.
of
Yeah.
quality.
I'm gonna
Back to the story,
point
sorry
at the
about
child with my lance and be like, "Who's the kid?"
We're us.
Honestly, I don't even know. I think there might be. I think there's 2 of him, but there's also might be like 4 or 5.
No, there's clearly one.
No, but
That's what I said.
he keeps referring to himself as we or us.
I think he has ghost.
Who are you?
Sorry, I am Balasa.
She found me at the opening of the
I
boat
just got
over
off
by-
boat. He just got off boat. Not same boat. I don't know who this child is either. And I gesture to
We're
child.
calling him we.
Okay, well, you're sitting at my table, so either sit down or leave.
I sit down.
Probably sit down.
As the rest of you
Like the
seat at the
scary
table, the half-orc lady comes back, and she has a series of plates. She's got like 3 on each arm. She's obviously going to more tables than you guys. She comes like, "Oh, glad you've already met." And she passes out the plates to each of you, and then takes the last 2 and goes on to the next table. As there are goblets already on the table, like a small pitcher of what's probably ice water, there's a bit of condensation built on the bottom. It's a third of where the pitcher kind of widens out before it sits on the table. It's likely half full. Probably get like 3 of you guys a glass of water, maybe.
Sam
But
tears into it.
The plate itself is just breakfast meats. There's like scrambled eggs, some like sausage, some very greasy and fried bacon at the same time. Your standard continental breakfast without any of the carbs.
That's for everyone.
All of you have that.
Oh, is that beautiful? I love meat. And I start eating it.
I do too.
We, as fast as he can, shoves all of the meat into his mouth and eats it all. And then starts plucking the eggs in more slowly.
Cody starts eating the sausage first.
You eat a lot. Food is good, but
But hers is more controlled.
Sayer
Shove it all
glares
in her
at
mouth.
this child.
I would like us to make a Constitution saving throw, as in your lifespan you have never experienced Rasa Flick chili sauce. Oh no! Oh no! You do not know Rasa is the god of the
Saving
sky
throw.
and fire. 12. You feel this thing building up in the back of your face, like starting at the tongue. You feel it through the teeth. You sit there, and you all watch as they begin sweating, eyes widening.
Are you okay?
You having fun there, boy?
I think it's weird when sweat. Sweat is weird. I splash water on his face.
Don't waste the water.
It's still like
There's water everywhere.
all over.
What was that supposed to do?
It still hurts, but now you're wet.
What was that supposed to do? What?
You need to cool off.
Maybe
Clearly.
it would help if you drank some of it.
Sorry.
What? Where?
Yeah.
Where?
Drink the water. Sayers just laughing into herself,
The
gleefully
water-
watching.
Cody is very to himself.
Why? Why would you tell us to do that?
Your tongue is now kind of sore, hard to move.
Hey, maybe you need another glass. And Sayers hands him hers.
That didn't help.
I'm like 2
Trust
steps
me,
away from
the second
passing
one will.
fast, But
Do I believe her when she says that?
That would be an insight check. And you make a contested deception or persuasion, depending if you're lying or not. You know the standard thing.
Well, I'm totally lying.
Oh,
Ooh, what's total?
9.
9.
Claire's just enjoying it.
No.
Continuing your pattern of distrusting individuals, Sire follows under this same pattern.
Would I know what cools off chili?
You don't actually feel any of it.
Right. I just thought I'd ask.
You have no idea what's going on with this kid. You ate the same food and you're
Yeah.
fine.
Would I know what kind of herb would like help?
Yes.
Okay. They were like okay. I wanna. I'm gonna rummage through my bag and see if I have the herb you need.
Too bad I don't have it.
I want to see if I do.
Quest number
You
1.
have an herbalism kit, as
Yes.
you don't know all of the random spices, and I didn't go through every single herb in the world.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Just make a nature check
Okay.
to see if you know how to solve this issue.
It's weird. You sweat and it's weird.
That's a
Water
Four.
either.
A 4. As you started with the sausage, you don't really feel any heat from anything. You've ate chilies before. Druid nature life is very raw, so you don't know what's going on either.
It wasn't that bad. It's not that spicy.
We disagree.
What's this?
What have you eaten in your life? White bread every day? Is that the spiciest thing that you've gotten?
Mostly onions. Cabbages.
That is not spicy
potatoes.
at all.
You like potatoes.
More people get spicy.
We have any red potatoes, do you?
The lady orcs. I call out Balasa
We are
calls for
literally
lady
that
orcs.
spicy white
Did you
girl
turn
with
around?
red meat.
Yeah, can I help?
This child can't. His sweat is hot, spicy.
He's growing.
I can fix that in a shake. I'll be right back. And she kind of like quickly runs off to one of the bars, reaches behind, and pulls out like a glass
I'm not
container
okay
of
with
some
people
very
touching my food
thick
for
white
you.
liquid,
You
pours
know
into a
that.
small cup, brings it back to you. Drink this.
Do I believe her?
It's an insight check.
18.
She is of the variety you do trust, and she seems very forthright and helpful. Satisfaction and relief is immediate. You actually see like a little bit of like
What is
steam
this?
breath coming out of their face, like.
What was that?
Only hot things make steam and cold things. Why?
Well,
This
all
looks
of our
like milk.
meals are based on spells. Is the rest of spell? It's a little trick my grandpa came up with.
Oh my
But
stars.
today's theme is burning hands, so we have spicy sausage.
Ooh.
We put a little paprika and a smidge of cayenne, and the eggs, and the bacon is just. It's it's regular. You can't do much with bacon except for use it to emphasize other things. So it is what it is.
You can add pepper
Yeah,
to this.
that's
True.
that's why you don't eat other people's food, boy.
That was our food.
No, you ate everyone's food.
We're sorry.
Yeah, you should be.
So yeah.
So what is this
He needs to
special
learn now. He's still a
potion
kid.
milk? The white.
You want to go
Well,
to
you
the
said
other-
it's just regular milk. There's nothing special about it for today's menu. Say, you guys are a very colorful lot, even compared to these guys. What brings you here? And she takes this little like silver platter that she now has and like puts it under her arm. Takes a small like rag from a pocket on the sleeve of her. I guess it's not a sleeve. It's on the hem of her skirt. Pulls out a small rag, begins wiping it.
We were left here.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
He
Did your
was
parents get
left, yeah.
lost?
I don't know that he has parents.
I mean, you have friends. They can help you find them, right?
Are we friends now?
I'm not his friend.
I don't know who you are, and I just met you, and I just met him.
Sawtooth left us with her. Them.
Is Sawtooth
Them.
place?
It was this man on this boat.
It's a pal-
So you came on a boat. Where'd you guys come from? We have lots of travelers from the sea. They're all really cool. Yeah.
Would I know Sawtooth?
No.
Okay.
You just showed up.
Cool.
We just were on a boat.
He was on a boat. The rest of us were on our own path.
Yes, we were on a boat.
Well, if you guys need anything else, I'm gonna go try putting pepper on bacon. So what?
More food, please.
Well, that's today's gratuitous gift was paid by the Hand of Wrath, but an extra plate will run you 2 copper.
I mean, considering our plates were eaten,
Yeah,
I-
you're welcome.
we can pay for it.
Fine. Weed reaches
Will-
into a hidden little pouch
so
and
confusing.
pulls out a gold piece and sets it on the table.
She goes, I'll be back with the change, and she kind of walks off.
Sarah's a little wide-eyed.
Oh, we're under attack by a cat, guys.
my goodness, guys.
Cat hijacked the whole campaign.
What?
There we go.
Do you think that anybody
It's
else in here
Corday.
would know about it? About the thing you are showing? I don't know if it's secret or what.
Oh,
it is.
the scabbard with
Is
the
that what
sign?
it's called, the scabbard?
Well, it's what holds knives and weapons, right? But it's
Yes, we
broken.
have one too.
Yes.
See? And we just kind of picks up the dagger and shows the sheath.
Yeah,
That's
well, that's
very-
kind of a standard piece of equipment.
I mean,
Yeah, we know.
I have daggers, but they are
Think-
wrapped in cloth.
Oh.
Do we know this? I don't know.
I hold up the broken scabbard to Shosire. Do you know what the symbol is? It's a sun with a raise.
Sayar kind of squints at it, reaches forward and grabs it.
Aye.
I could
Why
not
can she
help
have
her.
it?
She took it.
Huh. I think I do.
Really?
Give me a second.
You know
and Sayar
it.
stands up and starts walking.
Where? I don't know. Where you going? Where? Who? What?
I don't know where they are. I'm looking for the people who I know who have this symbol.
You haven't seen him today, but there is a member of your group who's pretty much the guy around town who kind of meets everyone. He's a pretty neat guy. He's the captain of this sort of band. His name is Tyrannus.
I'm gonna walk over to Tyrannus, wherever he is in the. He's at a table, right?
You know where his room is. He's not at a table.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up to his room.
Wait, Saya, where are you going?
I'm gonna find the guy who can find this.
Do you want us to come with you or do you want us to stay here? What are we doing?
I'm coming with him.
And Sayar turns around and keeps walking.
I'm just going to stay here in the
Keep
corner.
watch, child. Don't steal food. I follow Saya.
Babysitting.
As our guys are leaving, the half-orc lady comes back with 9 silver and 9 copper and puts it on the table. There's your change. And she has 2 more plates of food.
And I miss the food.
No, I'm grabbing the silver and the copper back.
Alright, for those of you who are leaving, Tyrannus' room is up the stairs, the first one on the left side.
Right before I head up the stairs, I'm gonna turn around and be like, "Watch my stuff!
Got
I
it!
follow you.
Watch my stuff!"
I
And then walk up the
at
stairs.
least to that.
It's just the shield and the sword.
Right, yeah.
And the lance.
I'm holding it.
Spear?
Oh, you've got the
got
lance.
it.
So like, there's some confusion with this. The traditional spears were called lances, so it's a spear, but it's classified as a lance.
Gotcha.
Different hit dice.
You can't throw it.
Okay.
It will wobble.
Good to know.
You knock on the door, Isaac.
Tyrannus! Hey, wake up!
You hear this massive thud, and the door kind of shakes, and you hear like the metal latches, and the door slowly opens.
I'm gonna shove it in his face.
And as the door opens, Malasa, you're with him?
Yes.
You recognize the Dragonborn guy that gave you crap outside.
Ah,
It's like, Sire, trying to sleep.
It's like, hey, Tyrannus!
Empty.
Tyrannus! What's this?
It looks like...
Where's the guys who had this?
Is this another one of your stupid riddles, Sire?
It's not a riddle.
It's
Come
not
on,
riddles,
just answer
what?
the question.
It's an empty sheath, Sire.
What's this? The symbol, Tyrannus. The symbol, as Sire points to it on the broken.
Sire rubs one of his eyes, and as he pulls the hand away from rubbing it, the thumb traces the scar on his cheek. Just habit and looks at it. Yeah, those guys came in like a week ago with that on like their shields and stuff. You remember them?
Yeah,
right?
where are they?
They left 2 days ago.
where'd they leave to? I need to find them.
I don't know. They were.
Who are they?
They spent a lot of time at the butchery. They hired some. You remember the kid that they were talking to, right?
Another child.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What
And
time
then
is
they
it?
left after talking to him. Oh, they said they were trying to hire someone for a job. Didn't work out. Blah blah. And then they decided to go to Northport. A couple days to the west.
Okay. Oh well. Thanks, Tyrannus. Get some sleep if you can.
Don't come back.
Sire's gonna yell through the door. Yeah? Next time I'll steal one of your tail scales.
I'll melt your lance.
So not
There's
the
a heavy sound of like springs compressing and like boards creaking, and the Dragonborn probably hits back.
And Sire turns around and promptly begins walking back down the stairs.
They have to wait up.
What?
Follow. Well,
Still walking.
who are these people? Just you.
Oh, we're gonna, there's a kid we gotta talk to.
What?
There's a kid we gotta talk to.
Okay, fine.
Chill out.
I will not
Jeez.
chill out.
While you guys are returning back at the table, what
I
are you
don't
guys
like
doing?
chill. She shivers.
We are patiently not eating food.
Ooh.
You have very good self-control when you want to.
Little eye twitch, I'm assuming, going on.
A little bit.
Do we show up?
How old are you? Boy,
We don't know.
how do you not know?
Well, we don't know. Do we know? No, we don't know.
I need to know which one I'm speaking to.
Me.
I'm going to figure this out, whatever you are, child.
Yeah, I'm not that.
How did you can't be more than 10 years old. How did you get all this money?
What? We have money. One. Just the one.
You only
We
have,
only have one.
1 gold.
He
I has many.
he very much looks like he is lying through his teeth.
Okay, negate the insight check.
Okay, you missed out 1 gold piece. Where did you get it?
We took it.
You mean you stole it?
No.
That usually.
Stealing is when we go in and we grab it and we keep it for ourselves. We're gonna give this to other people at some point, so we.
You mean you're going to go buy more food? So that's a yes. That is
We're
still,
hungry.
that is still stealing.
Well, it was just lying there. It's not like it was attached to anybody.
Where are you finding places that have money just lying around?
Where the soldiers were.
There was money on the ground. Guess I did not notice.
Yeah, it's where Shore gave us this armor too.
Okay. Here's another question. What were the people that you are running from? Why are you running? What were they doing to you?
Well, because they wanted me to go back. Back to
Back?
my hole.
Your hole.
Yeah, they
This
threw me in
story
a hole.
is just.
At this point, the other two make it back to the table. One triumphant and one too bundled to tell.
Take the shield off the
She
chair,
shivers.
put it on my back, put the sword on my belt, and say, "All right, let's go." And then head towards the
Whoa!
door.
Hold on a minute.
What?
We're following the scary lady.
We're finding another child.
And there are plates of food on the table.
Oh,
Does anybody not want to
Claire
eat?
grabs the plate
I
and starts
want
walking.
to eat.
Do we
I
not
like-
need to leave the plates here?
Yes, someone else clean them.
We can eat as we walk.
I think it'd be best if we just slow down a little bit. Oh my goodness, we're going so
Jeez.
quickly.
What is it with you tonight, Corey? You're so boring now. Sarah starts
It's been a
eating the
long
food in
day,
the chair.
Saya. I'm just okay. I need to know where we are going, what we are going to do. I'm going to figure out you eventually, but we're going to ignore that for a moment.
He's a kid.
Yes, he's a kid, but there's something wrong with him.
He's an interesting kid.
He's a loopy in the head.
I think there's 2 heads in there.
Not paying very much attention to this discussion, we is now very much out in the open with Sire, where Sire is.
Sarah's at the table.
Yeah, like just not hiding behind Kore anymore, and just like,
Why he takes to me?
how do we make it so that we can eat it like you eat it?
Sarah goes, practice. And then pushes the plate towards you.
Corey's gonna take her plate and just take it aside.
She takes 2 more sausages off, though.
Is there only 2 plates or do I have plate? Are we share plate?
I can't share with you. I give her half of the food.
Yeah, keep eating it. Go on.
What?
I am eating one of whatever meat Sire pushed in towards me.
Alright.
Slowly this time.
That would be another Constitution saving throw.
Ooh.
Nope.
Oh no.
Oh no. Are there like symptoms of when
7.
he eats it?
7. The sweats come back, and this time it feels like you're trying to swallow fire liquid, blazing fire. You feel it now not only in your molars, but through all of your teeth. Your eyes begin to water up. You can't hear anything out of your left ear.
Oh, more milk. No.
Sire is just grinning ear to ear.
You know you are terrible.
She comes by with 2 glasses of milk this time,
Hey,
sets them on the table.
He deserves down one of them.
Save one later.
I'm not going
The
to
first one did not do
that.
enough.
Oh, you
Did you know I'm down the second one?
Entertaining.
Balasa takes, I don't know, are there silverwares or am I using hands?
Either one. There's forks.
I use hands. So,
I didn't even get a response.
I've given her half of whatever's on the plate, so it's equal.
Are these gloves fingerless?
no.
Okay, I can't remember all the clothes you wear. There was a lot.
Okay, so Tyrannus said we have to go talk to the butcher's boy because the kid knows where the symbol's from. I know some guys who had this symbol on, and the kid knows where they went. And maybe...
Intelligence check. That was way too long of a pause.
They went? Oh! They went to Twin Docks or Hyde Park or something?
You remember the word birdcage? But you're like, what does that have to do with anything?
Something? No. Okay, yeah, we're gonna talk to the butcher's boy. We're gonna go now.
Right, okay, after we finish eating, we will go.
I'm done eating. Why are you guys so slow?
I am just, occasionally moving face mask and eating food.
You know, if we were in a fight right now, you guys would be dead.
What do you mean? We're not fighting.
We're not in a fight. I'm in a fight with you right now to slow down.
We're not fighting. I'm trying to get what you want. Don't you want to know what this is from?
Yes, but
So why are we going?
I'm hungry.
Oh, that spoke to my soul.
Sarah points at the plates and is like, we'll eat faster. And
I
then sits back
consume
grumpily.
food and I don't know how long it takes. I just eat normally.
I don't remember you being this grumpy
Okay,
on the
decently
way.
fast.
Yeah, because you were not boring. Now you want to sit here in the tavern.
I'm trying to slow down. It's been a very long and strenuous day.
What are you talking about? It's been
Sarah.
a successful day.
For you,
we
it
killed
might have-
4 skull eaters today.
Yes, and I
Details are
had counsel.
That's right. Every single one of them. It's a shame that they turned. But they got what they deserved.
You have done terrible things, yes.
Okay, I'm done eating.
Good, let's go. And Sarah stands up.
Are they done eating?
We are done, yes.
We is done eating.
I ate the spicy
finished.
sausage because clearly the little boy
First
couldn't
fatality
eat
is
it.
grammar in this campaign.
I'm finished eating.
As you guys are approaching the door, you hear voices from outside of it. One is a bit rougher. It's like, I don't know what to tell you. This is the money they gave us to pay you. Come on, it's just fine. And as you guys exit the door, I'd like you all to make perception checks.
Is it raining?
Still a blast of cold air as the door swings open.
Oh, I shiver and I got only a what check?
Well, if you're shivering from the cold, please make a perception check at disadvantage. Cold is not.
Man, that was worse. 4.
Everyone get
15.
17. 18.
As you all walk out the door, Balasa, as you turn and try to fix your hood, you run right into Jaren. Please describe your character.
He's got blonde hair, like, not really super bright, but kind of pale. He's got a collar that goes... like my hair, but longer.
D&D, the game where you can play yourself.
But not really.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Carry on.
He's got a green cloak, a forest green cloak on with a collar that goes up to about his eyes right here. You can see that the collar, it parts right here, a symbol with an arrow and wings where like the feathers would normally be. And then underneath it you see like a little, it looks like some sort of medallion if you look at it real close. It would look like a locket. He carries a bow and a quiver on his back and a bag to his side.
And
He's got really bright green eyes.
Just make a dexterity saving throw, as does Balasa.
Oh,
As
dang.
walking away from your previous conversation, your compensation
That doesn't
for
count.
the things you did in the trial.
But it was
you
high.
get rammed into by some unknown force, throwing you completely off balance, but you get
I got 18.
18.
Oh man,
Your
why did
forest
I
legs kick in,
reroll?
you quickly slip to the side, your arm straight, your leg kicking out, and just take like 2 steps that way. You're fine. What'd you get?
We'll be honest, 10.
And the horse that smashed into you falls backward and just flops onto the sidewalk.
And there's a heavy
Just like-
bang.
And just
It
like
cracks
this,
the stone.
like this cacophony of cloths just as she falls. Just all of these layers of clothing follow after her.
Did roll of rug just fall on me?
Sayer plants
The
her
rug's head
lance.
pops up,
All right then.
and you notice with the rug is the druid lady, the scary one with the big hair, and the little kid.
Who is
Sayer.
very much hiding behind the tiger.
Hey, Ren.
It's good to see you. How's your day?
I'm good. Sorry they ran into you. They're not very coordinated, it seems.
I am
can
more
tell.
coordinated than you think, and I stand up and stand.
It's a dick walking the
I stand up and I
That was beautiful.
Do I
You
see
have a
me?
way with words,
Do I
girl.
see me?
yeah, his head's poking out behind the tiger lady you were hiding behind, but terrified.
I'm going to kneel down and put my collar down, so it's just like, what's your name?
I climb up the tiger lady.
As you climb up her back using her hair as pulleys, you bump into the little creature. It's like, attacks you. Its claws hit the horn, so there's no superficial damage.
Is someone
but-
else touching me?
Okay,
I
I'm
keep climbing
gonna
up to the head.
grab him in my bag. I'm
Cool
gonna pull out
it,
just a
Corey.
little piece of candy and be like, hey, I don't bite, and I hand it to him.
I'm very much getting as far away from it as possible.
Now crawling over to the other shoulder, Corey is like, yeah! What are you trying to do?
What's wrong with me? Kids used to like me.
You need to get down right now. Get off. Get
I
off.
reach-
Get him away from
I'm
us.
sorry,
child.
but you have to.
Alright, so this is a contested roll where you have to make a dexterity check and you have to make a dexterity save.
I mean, Ren, he's a strange kid.
I can tell.
He ate a whole plate of the chili sauce
Dexterity
before we
save.
even sat at the table.
How do you do that? That stuff is so spicy.
What is
No,
it?
it's
That's
not.
on the top.
Yeah, it is.
17.
Dang it, 15. I mean 16.
As Balassa dives to try to grab, we
It's not
swivels out of the way, and Balassa slams into Corey, and all three of them just kind of onto the sidewalk.
Wait, I'm...
Okay.
I'm now hiding behind Sayer.
Corey
Why?
gets up as soon as she can. She gets as far away as possible with like being within distance of you guys. Just like,
Just stay between us.
don't do that again.
Sayer reaches around behind her and grabs Wee by the scruff of his neck, lifts him up, and goes, "Quit it!"
I'll be nice to child.
And then drops him back on the ground.
Hey. I'm gonna like try and pat him on the head.
I'm gonna stay as far away from him as
He
possible.
just scurries
He's
back
already
around behind Sire.
He's already scared. Don't do that to him.
I'm scared
You're
of you.
scaring him.
How am I scaring him?
Quit trying to touch him.
Hey,
Pat him on the head.
Now that Corey's calmed down. Okay, you cannot touch or climb on me, please.
Is he still hiding behind me?
But
Very much so, yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab
I've-
him again
say yeah.
and do the same thing, but keep
This
him in the
time
air
it's a
this
check.
time.
Your dexterity check, your
Alright.
dexterity save. But
Alright.
you get advantage because you know it's coming.
Hmm.
And also you're hiding by the shield, which is not like the best thing to reach around.
But that's fair. Yeah.
I want to hear yours first because there's like some shade about to be thrown on this side.
13. Natural 20 for a 23.
You reach behind, nothing there,
First one of the campaign. Yeah.
and it's for absolutely nothing.
That's true.
I'm just gonna turn to Ren. Ren, just don't touch the kid, okay? Just let him be. And he'll stop climbing people, for crying out loud. And you chill. And if you kept your dreads in a ponytail, this wouldn't happen.
So I got a nat 20 on a specific roll. Right as you sit there like this, you feel this, and this like little miniature lion swoops by and just bites the candy out of your hands and flies back to Corey.
Do I see it?
Yeah.
Is it cute?
It's Corey's familiar.
Is it cute?
Describe-
So you see Ren's eyes go from like, kind of hardened and scruffed to like really wide, as if like a cat is like about to hunt or something, but he's not hunting. He's like, oh my gosh, it's so cute.
This is a Woogu.
Ren, cool it. It's just her pet.
Pets are the greatest.
Yeah. Leave it be.
Can I pet him?
I don't know that you want to. He's very sensitive.
I mean, he didn't
I
like
hold out-
you.
I
don't
hold out
think
my
the
hand for him
child-
to sniff.
We're talking personal
will
space
let you-
here. In combat, you'd be occupying the same square. Ren got very close.
So I put my hand out for it to sniff. just like you would with
Okay.
a dog or a cat.
Alright, Uku will sniff your hand tentatively.
It's okay.
Except you, you're really controlling for the storm, sorry. My dice is
Uku's going to just, like, kind of flinch back. And just,
It's okay. It's okay.
and then he'll lick your hand. But then he'll hide it back behind my hair.
It's so cute.
Where it licks your hand, your fingertips go numb.
I actually kind of need that.
Oh,
Note to self.
speaking of pets.
Note to self.
Well,
Told you, Ren.
But it's cute, so
Poison
everything comes with a price.
monster,
Cody's gonna turn to Uku. He's like, you like him that much? Wow.
It was like,
Okay. Balasa,
Just
we,
calm down.
Kore, Ren if you want to. I'm going to the butcher's shop to talk to somebody about this, to help you, because you asked. So can you get on that, please?
Yes.
I have to ask you.
I'd appreciate.
What? Is there any money involved? I kind of need some.
Oh, yes.
There
It has
is.
plenty.
There is
Let's
money
just
involved?
move on.
so
No,
you
there's
know
no
that
money
Red
involved.
should
in
have
this.
been compensated financially for his efforts.
How much did I get from it?
Yep, 15 copper.
15 copper.
You have money.
I need lots more for that.
For what?
You'll find out later.
Jeez, Ren. What are you, an endless mine?
No, I just have no money.
Yeah, clearly. Let's go.
Alright,
Sarah
let's go.
starts walking towards the butcher's shop.
Do you know where the butcher shop is?
I'm not sure.
Would you
Do
have
I?
investigated the butcher shop at all?
Sayer loves food. And she loves meat. So
Okay. Does she love it raw?
no. But she does love that.
So, double check my map here. It's not too far away. Coming out of the inn, you have to cross again the town square. It's you guys are passing. The wind is picking up, and the clouds are now overhead. The sunlight's been blocked. It's colder feeling that like is measurement-wise, and you pass between like the water management and the apothecary shop. Continue down the street a little bit, hang a right, and there's a cul-de-sac of small businesses that come up, one of which you recognize as the Cured and Clean Butchery, which has a sign that says closed.
Jeez. Sayer's gonna walk up to the door and...
Sayer,
stop that!
Don't do this, Sayer!
And it's metal on wood.
This little kid comes out of the door next to you, but then you realize, oh, it's like a 20-year-old halfling. It takes you a second to realize. He just comes out and is like, hey, we're trying to work. Can you stop?
I need to talk to the owner.
He's not here.
Well, can I talk to you?
Sure.
Where's the kid that works here?
There's no kid that works there.
So you're the kid that works here?
No, I'm an adult. Sort of.
Okay.
He's very convincing.
Do you know... So, you know the guys who had this? And I hold the scabbard in front of his face.
No. Why is it? What you're holding it
No,
back?
it's a symbol. It's a symbol.
Oh, yeah, still no.
Well, like...
Sayer, are you sure this is the right place?
Yes!
How many butchers are here?
How many butchers are here, kid?
Just the one.
I told you, it's the right
Brooke
place.
is not here.
Where can we
Well,
find him?
I don't know.
I ask nicely.
Don't you remember the guys that came in with this?
Lots of people come in here.
Don't you remember the guys that came in with this symbol on their stuff?
Wait, no, yeah. Yeah. Of course. They left. Really fast. So should you. Catch up. It was just a couple minutes ago. If you run that way really fast,
I don't
you can catch up.
I'm gonna put my lance in your face.
Sayer, don't do that. Look, I don't know, man. You're just being loud.
Jeez. Don't close so early. Gosh.
Sayer, I'm
What
sure
time
they can't
is it?
help it.
It's like 11 o'clock.
In the morning?
Yeah. And his business is open. It's like, look, my profession takes delicate precision. And you hammering away on the door next to me like some freaking war drum disturbs the peace!
Do you have food for us?
No.
We will find food later. There's plenty food,
okay.
there's money, there's food, just wait.
Hey,
What?
what about... Something's on my mind, and I can't remember what it was. Do you know what the birdcage is?
Yeah, the birdcage is out the Traveler's Gate. It's to the east side. You have to be heading inland for it. You can't miss it.
Okay.
Especially the
Thanks.
smell, I promise.
Won't bang on your door anymore.
It's not my door you're banging on, but I would appreciate not that. This, and he like wipes a hand on the door, is fresh, bronzed ebony. Imported from Arakawa, I'll have you know.
Sayer cocks an eyebrow and goes,
Money.
and I don't care. And then walks away.
Sir, I don't think you understand. That is so much money.
It's what you want to take the door. Let's go.
No, you're like, you cannot take my door.
Okay,
Paid so much money for that. He gets it.
Don't worry,
I
we
can't
will
steal
not
that
take
from
your
him.
door. We'll be out of your hair in a few minutes.
Sayer's walking.
She's already gone.
And as you guys are walking, the building on the other side of the butchery, this incredibly tall, gaunt, gray-skinned human walks out. He's wearing this long white coat buttoned all the way up to the top. His hair is like grayish and slicked back, and one eye is like eye patched. He comes out and he's like, "What's all this noise?" Cocking the eye that doesn't have an eye patch.
We're still looking for people who have symbol like this and gestures to the thing that. Please lift up the thing.
Sayer's walking.
Sayer's gone. It looks like a star with sun.
Kore quick
And
tips out.
rays.
And the figure goes back inside.
Wait, no, come back. For future reference, I drew it. I have it already. I drew it as soon as you showed me. So if she has the thing that you need, just ask me.
Is he gone?
Which one? The tall, creepy guy, Sire, who is a sheep.
No, tall, creepy guy.
Oh, he's back inside, and the little halfling guy is like petting his door.
Okay, fine.
Pure adoration.
This is why I don't come to these cities very often.
Sayer pauses
Ay,
down the street,
goodness.
turns around and yells, "Are you coming?" Weaves directly in front of her. Which been following
there.
Sayer this entire time.
Hey.
Hey.
And she like puts a hand on her head and does that "I'm waiting" stance.
Make a
You
sex
won't
check.
get me to run.
Seriously.
The inside joke has returned. Make a sex check. 10?
Mm-hmm.
Quasi sassy.
Well,
It's like one snap.
You
not
won't
three
get me to
snaps.
run. I will just walk, and I just slowly walk normal pace to you.
and then Kore doesn't know what to do. She's like, she started running and you started walking, and she's just like, oh, I don't know what to do with these people.
I show up late.
Ren.
I think Ren would just like he'd be going with them too,
Okay.
but he's fast, so he'd probably be arguing with Sire.
It is quite a walk to the Traveler's Gate. I'll describe the walk through the city. If you guys would like to have any conversations real quick, now is the perfect time for that.
Ren's
Or if you want to
back
keep an
up.
eye out for any
Call.
side particular shops or whatnot, I can let you know.
Just try to bundle away from the stupid wind.
It has begun to drizzle a little bit.
Oh, dang it.
So the wind is as present as the constant little pressure on your hood and shoulders.
I just hope it doesn't soak too much. That it. Never mind, let's keep going.
I'm gonna make a soak check for the rain.
I mean,
That's
with.
a 5.
Perfect.
Sarah's gonna put on her cloak over her armor.
I'm going to go to Balasa. You know, it's not that cold out here.
No, it's very cold.
Why?
I think it's very cold. I want to stay like this.
How many layers do you have under there?
Clothes. It doesn't matter.
Why did you have so many?
Because it's cold.
Do I hear
Doesn't
this?
grasp the
Yeah,
concept.
they're caught up. You can hear it.
It's not
As
that
can
cold.
they and Ren.
I am
I'm just gonna call
cold.
you we for
It's the
simplicity's sake.
wind.
Everyone else is doing
The
it.
rain is too much. It's not warm enough. It's way not warm enough.
It's raining. I guess it's not warm enough.
Is this your first time in a cooler climate?
No.
It looks like it. It's really warm.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Do you have short sleeves on?
They're still longer, but there's like a shirt and a jacket, and then studded armor.
Kore's just warm all the time, so she's just like, it's not that bad.
Like, despite being cold, you feel like a residual heat coming from her. Like, I'm cold. It's cold. It's rainy. Can we walk faster?
While we're walking, can I do an Arcana check on that?
On that, sure. Arcana check away for.
I wanted to see if there's any kind of magical source from this strange heat emanating from Balasa. Nat 20.
Well, the outer heat, there are actually a couple layers of this heat you recognize with this check with a nat 20. First, the outermost heat is slightly magical. Like, there's this little, taste of dormant arcane energy in her outermost cloak. Inside, there is nothing. That's just body heat. But to her side, on her waist, are two signatures of intense heat. Magical. That's it.
It's on my side.
You'll be the one who knows this.
I'm gonna text it to you.
Because sorry.
Sayara's just gonna keep this information to herself and keep walking.
Any other conversation while I have to text someone's equipment to them?
Okay.
Ren's
These my weapons, they're on my back.
Ren, so...
Oh, on the back? Okay,
Yeah.
so those signatures
Have
on
you
the
seen
back.
any
Not
of
the
these
side.
people
There you
before,
go.
except
I
They're
just
on
figured
my
to be on the
back.
side because that's the
Seen
easiest
those
way
two
to store
before?
them.
Oh no, I have them in the sheet, so I draw them to my arm.
Usually kids like me, and this is kind
Just
of
like that.
They're hidden under clothes, but they're
Yeah,
easy
but
to find.
it's okay.
We'll get
But
to you in that
you
break.
can't see them.
Don't take it too hard. That kid's crazy.
What's his name?
Weed.
We call him We.
His name is Weed.
We.
Before we get to this conversation again and confuse the audience one more time,
Oh,
the city that passes by begins as a financial resident of core services of the city, and then turns into a high estate, which has a fence and occasional guards posted, so you can't cut through the place that has a large manor and the massive circular building, and you're forced instead to walk around through the market square. As you pass through the square, there's tons of vendors of different foods and whatnot, and for sake of time, we're going to cut through certain shenanigans of certain children. As you continue passing, the first smell that hits you, besides the falling rain, is rain mixed with manure mixed with horsehair. And you begin approaching a large stables. The stables is lackluster in design and is just simple print imperial stables. Next to it is a large wooden gate with a raised portcullis, those spiked bars that stay behind the wooden doors of the gate. And it's wide enough for a small caravan of about 5 carriages to pass through. There's not a whole lot of foot traffic, but that is the Traveler's Gate. This is where visitors coming from the mainland cross through. There's also the Commerce Gate to the south of the city, which you overhear conversation snippets of, and those who have been in the city know of this gate. That's where you guys came in. But walking through the gate, you're not stopped by any of the guards. They notice you, but this time of day, travelers aren't uncommon, especially now in this time of peace. Walking through, it's uphill after you guys at the city. It's rocky a bit, just immediately the path, probably left over where they quarried the stones, maybe. But the path does smooth into a dirt road, and then little waving grass fields pick up. And as you cross over this hill a bit, you see on the horizon several what look like lampposts. And there are closer ones to you, and further there's about, you can say maybe 20 or 30, but these massive iron posts reach up, curl down this little hook form, and sitting on the ends of them are these large cages. Most of them are empty, but inside each as you walk past is this metal ring with a blue rock embedded in it. As you continue walking and walking, you see that there are rags or clothes remains in them, until you begin hearing this voice muttering to itself, and you see a figure in one of these cages. So you recognize the form as you get closer, but sitting inside one of these cages, suspended about 8 feet above the air, feet dangling through the bottom ends of the cage, hands in front, twiddling the fingers or trying to pass the time, wearing one of these collars, the blue rock now glowing. Joey, would you please describe your character?
Finally! Wow! We took a long time.
We found you!
We and the rest of us.
So, in the cage,
Out of the town.
you see a man about mid-20s, gray skin, hood up, just very drab clothes, just black. He's got gray wrappings all up his arms. Leather boots, just very dark clothing, and he's just sitting there kind of muttering to himself, just not really paying attention to the surroundings.
You talk about the markings on this stuff.
Yeah, so there's also along his face are little scars, markings of runes that go under this eye and then over the other.
A little wave across the eyebrow. It's just the muttering, and this is the kid you recognize.
Can Sire... Sorry.
And his eyes are entirely black. There's no whites, there's no color, just black orbs. And his hair is long, kind of grimy black dreadlocks. About shoulder length.
Can I reach the cage with my lance?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna use the bottom end of it and whack the cage so that it starts ringing. Whack! Hey!
Oh, is the zoo open?
This isn't a zoo.
And you've come to stare, haven't you?
No, stupid.
What do you want?
Sire holds up the scabbard and goes, "We're looking for this. You know what this is, right?
What's it to you?
Come
It
on."
means a lot to me.
At this point, the rain intensifies to a drizzle, but a bit of a pour.
Balassa, you doing okay over there?
I will find tree to stand under.
You need more coverage,
We are
sweetie?
standing about as close to Corday as possible, as if she were a tree.
Good
What's
phrase.
it to you?
Come on. Whack!
So yeah, I think you need to take a different approach with people.
I
You
might have
can't
seen
just-
it somewhere, and he just lies back down in the cage.
You're
Yeah?
not
His
going to
feet
beat
still
anything out of
dangles.
him.
The bottom of these cages are like barred,
Yeah.
but not a crossbar. As the cage itself has crossbars on it, the bottom is just straight across, and his legs kind of sit through it, dangling worthlessly.
Yeah, Sarah puts the broken scabbard in her belt pouch and then goes, "Where?"
Why do you care?
Whack! Just tell me where.
Is that not very nice? Can I have this exact? I
You
saw
know,
you
it's a
put it
little-
in
Sure.
your pocket. I want it. It's mine.
Sarah chucks the scabbard to
Can I touch it?
Balassa.
Yeah, I mean, I can make a roll for this.
Okay,
It's
good.
awesome.
It's a little hard to think straight when you keep the gong ringing, sweetie.
I was gonna keep going until Sweetie isn't in your mouth anymore.
So yeah, can't believe this is the way you deal with people. What is your name up there?
You want to be nice to him? He's a thief.
Is he at the... I don't know these things.
Why do you think
You
he's in
like
a cage?
Yes, what is this what you were calling the bird cage?
Now that you've seen them, you remember the birdcage is a form of humiliation and prison at the same time.
Punishment. He's a thief.
Oh, that's not very nice.
This doesn't
Am
sound
I-
like a
Is
good
there
way to
anything like
punish.
that they have that where I'm...
Where you're from? No,
Yeah.
they have pits where you're from.
Ah, got it.
Like,
So,
literally, it's like
I
a
was just doing my
hole.
job. I might have seen the... It's hard to remember, just...
Well, you better start remembering faster. Whack!
I go up to him and push a bit away from... Push you a bit. Push
You're
Sayed
gonna
a
have to
bit
strength
away.
check that.
Okay,
Sire
I'll
is-
strength check
Sire
it.
is
It's
not
more
cool
of the
to be
gesture
pushed.
of move away, not like shove.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not like
Well,
trying to push you over.
Saya's standing still.
Okay, well, whatever. It means a lot to me. If you could tell me where you know where this is from, this is not important to her at all. And I gesture to Sayer. I just need to find the people who have this.
You know, sweetie, as much as I value your personal life, I really don't.
I noted.
But if you could get me out of this cage, I might be able to remember a thing or two.
Done.
Wow, wait a minute. If you are... What did you do that you got
Hey.
in here?
You can't let him out.
Yeah,
Why
I don't
not?
feel comfortable.
He's a criminal.
I was just doing my job.
What was your
Yeah,
job?
and your job is against the law.
Is your job
And I think it might have had something to do with that thingy you were showing me.
Really? I'm interested.
We could just torture him.
Vanessa, if this
yeah.
is a criminal...
Unlike
Well,
what
it's
you've
my bone.
done.
So I guess that's a no on the torture.
No.
We are not going
Brenda
to
takes
torture
his
him. He's
arrow
already been
back
tortured
to his
enough.
quiver.
Put in a cage for everyone to see. This is a terrible way to punish.
I agree with the tiger lady.
There's a rumble in the distance of like a building, but distant thunder is just.
Mm-hmm. Well, with any luck, you'll get electrocuted.
Yeah, and then I won't have to listen to you.
Mm-hmm. Whack!
Sorry, you just
I
got.
don't like the way this guy thinks.
Can I grab the bar and try to melt it?
How tall are you?
I'm 5'5".
Yeah, you can grab it.
Cool.
What do I? Can
What
I?
are you doing
just
to
burn-
try to melt it?
Burning hands.
Just rub it really fast.
Yeah. No.
We're lighting a Boy Scout campfire.
Are you going to cast Burning Hands for it?
Yeah. Like.
Alright, mark it off the spell slot
I will.
as the heat channels from your core to your glove and then externally into this bar. You feel the magic course through and the flame from your veins extend into the metal, and you watch that blue crystal on the caged man's neck flare up with a brighter light, and you watch as all the veins on his neck and face stand out blue, just like rigid solid, and nothing happens to the bars.
Dang it.
Hey, Belasa, maybe we don't melt the bars. I think there's a way to actually get him out without hurting him more.
So Torture's not back on the table?
Please, no torture. Goodness gracious,
Is there
what
a
is wrong
lock on
with
the
you
gate?
people?
Not you can see.
He's a
Not that I can see.
criminal.
Criminals are
Perception check?
still beings,
I'll be an investigation
persons.
check.
Investigation check.
Won't be for long if you keep up like that.
Well, hopefully not have to.
Oh, that's a name, so no.
What is your name?
They call me Derelict.
Derelict.
So many different pronouns.
Oh, shut it, Blondie.
I'm not blonde.
His eyes are squinted shut, by the way. He's just saying words.
Kyle, does there appear to be a
Directly
weak
that
point
side
in the
there.
chain that's holding it up?
Real good at identification there, aren't you?
Rod. Okay.
Is there like anywhere around us where like a lawmaster or something who could maybe let them down?
You're about a quarter mile out of town with these massive cages.
So there's just cages around.
Lots of cages. You could say that they end eventually. I think they stop as he's about like third from the end, but they're pretty well spaced apart, about 110 feet apart.
Who put you in here and how did they put you in?
Well, they opened the cage, and then they put me in, and then they closed the cage, and then they left me here.
Wait,
Funny
can
one,
you not
Ansby.
just open it up?
Where did it open?
Oh, you know, I see your point. I should have tried that, you know. Go on your merry way.
You didn't say anything about
I'll open the
lock.
cage.
Sayre's just leaning on her lance.
Oh, there's got
Bored.
to be.
I'm bored too.
Was there not any like magical spell that they did to put you in here? Obviously, there's some magic.
No magic besides, the blue crystal that your little rug friend here decided to test out.
So you don't know how to get out.
Rug?
Oh.
What's his rug?
Oh, right. Do you think I'd still be here if I knew? And he sits up and just glares at Corey.
I'm talking about reversing the process of whatever did this to put you in. Did you see how they
While
put you
our
in?
Heroes squabble in the rain. We're going to take a quick break to recharge cameras, use the bathroom, and about halfway through our podcast. We will be back shortly. Thank you so much for watching the Heroes of Hearth Gate. We hope you're enjoying this episode so far. Before we get back to the action, we would like to take a moment and thank all of you for watching and listening. This would not be possible without you. And now, let's get back to it. And welcome back. Hopefully we all were rested enough for our break to get back into it. Where we left off, we were chatting with Derelict at the birdcage, and I believe everyone was squabbling. Last person to speak, I think, was Corey. So as the conversation continues, the rain hasn't built up beyond just a standard light shower. It has remained constant, but the clouds are growing darker. Like there's possibly more afterwards, and the roil, the thunder, the background just build up of just this. Gets closer and closer with each pass.
Corey is getting more on edge as the sound gets closer. Her hair is starting to stand up even though it's wet.
Are you scared of thunder?
The loud noises are not good for me.
Don't worry, it's okay.
Try sitting in a cage with some dingbat hits the bars with
Spear.
If you tell us how they put you in here, we could get you out.
Look, they the top was open, they put me in, put this collar on and then they close it with magic. I can't. No one can do magic without this reacting. And I'd rather not do that again. Thank you.
So magic does not work.
Magic does not work.
Do you think there's a chance I could maybe
Sassy about
shoot it off with my bow? I could maybe shoot an arrow at it and hit it off.
You know,
Maybe you
as
should
much
fucking
as I'd
grasp it
love
again.
to have you shoot me
that
in the
wasn't
throat.
Ren's character.
Gotcha.
It's me asking Kyle.
Anything is possible. It's Dungeons and Dragons. But
Do you
if
guys
he
think-
is aware of it, you get advantage. If not, you get disadvantage.
Hey.
He'll be like, "Ah!"
I might be able to get that collar off of you, but you're gonna have to hold really still.
Why?
I'd probably be able to hit it with my arrow.
Oh.
Don't worry.
Oh, lovely. You might also hit my jugular with your arrow.
I'm really good with the bow.
I can't.
We don't like this idea.
You should do this soon, or else bad things are going to happen.
Sayer's gonna reach forward and touch the cage and cast the light cantrip on the cage.
Nothing happens.
Wait.
Cantrips are a little less powerful.
Sayer gets a disappointed look on her face, and
You're being funny, Blondie.
It's silverish.
Sayer
He's
just
still gonna
like
stick
cocks
with
an
it.
eyebrows like,
Listen.
I mean,
Does anyone have a better idea than Mr. Sharpshooter here?
We didn't have any good ideas.
I already
either.
tried
There's
my
not much else we can
idea.
do.
Look,
I mean, you're a druid. Don't you have spells that could help with this? Open this thing?
No spells, thank you.
I don't think the magic is actually going to help at all.
Alright. Is there a way to detach the cage that I can see that is relatively simple mechanism-wise?
Long hook loop with it in the opening of the metal band latches around the top of the birdcage. The opening from it, where it was bent around, is not as wide as the actual metal. So they put it on, then closed it. It's like, imagine the birdcage has like a little loop on the top, like a keychain as it were. It's connected to the bars, and that is placed upon a small rod, which loops onto the large post holding it, and then they bent it to the point where the gap of the bend, where it should connect to itself, is thinner than the metal cap of the cage.
Can I reach that?
No, it's about 12 feet up.
How high off the ground is the cage itself?
The cage is 5 feet off the ground.
5 feet off the ground. Ren is 6 feet tall. So if you like lower down, he could probably put his bow in between it and just with an arrow.
Yeah, we could just...
Oh my gosh.
That way accuracy wouldn't really be a question. Or
What's the rest of the collar made of?
leather. It's fused in the back.
how strong are you?
Can I see that it's leather?
Yes. It is under his hood, though, so I guess...
no.
So,
Yes.
Okay, I can.
But it's like kind of an awkward squint at him, like,
We also saw one earlier, didn't we?
What, a cage? With a
One of
collar
the
in it?
collars, yeah.
Yeah, in the cage. It was
Hey,
open.
don't you have any knives up there? That collar looks like you could cut it off pretty easily.
Yeah, you know, I'm sure glad they left me all my equipment. No, actually they didn't. No, I don't have anything.
Would you like a knife or something?
That would be lovely.
If I trust him with a knife, I'm going to give you one. Okay, Cody's gonna pull out a dagger from her side and just like hand it up and see if it. You see if it works. If it does not, give it
He
back.
goes to take the dagger.
Okay.
No reaction, no cage attack.
Yeah.
He goes and
It is perfectly form-fit to your neck, so however you try to cut it, there is also a blade next to your throat.
Just be careful.
So-
Cut it from the outside.
Yep, I gathered that.
So that's a dexterity check.
See? Yep.
I mean, you're good with knives, so I'll give you advantage, but
Do it.
not that good with knives.
Nat 20.
I don't think you pass the blade, you try not to cut yourself, so you take a quick pause with each pass, and every time you pass, you bring the knife back. It feels like there's no advance. This time you slide the knife, and you hear the leather like fuse back together.
Can I keep this?
No. Don't even think about it.
He puts it aside.
Give it back.
In time. Alright,
How soon in time?
I told you, he's a thief.
We should just leave him.
you can have
Is
the
there-
knife when we get me out of the cage, okay?
How do we know that you're not going to run away when we get you out of the cage?
We don't think he can run very far like that.
Can I try
This is
to
true.
bend the bars?
Reach up, grab him. It's kind of an awkward angle, but go ahead, make a strength check.
Okay. No.
Oh no.
But I'll tell you the score anyways. That's an 8.
Bending metal, not as easy as, let's say, Rambo makes it look. Especially with this strange angle. It's like, you feel like it budges, you move it, but every time your muscles relax just a little bit, the metal just goes back to its normal form. Just that tiny bit of motion undoes itself.
I want to hop on top of the cage, see if there's anything up there I can do.
Okay, make a acrobatics check as you'll be climbing up this thing.
Ooh, 23.
Alright, as the blonde elf guy just leaps up and grabs onto the bars, the cage starts swinging back and forth. And he just keeps, like, climbing his way up like a jungle gym to the top of it. And
Does
it
my
just keeps
knife
swinging.
fall out of his cloak if it does this?
It has pockets.
Alright, what do I see up there?
You see that the hill continues and, like, winds far in the distance. There's, like, a forest. You also see that the storm is building up pretty intensely.
I meant
on the coast.
On the cage.
Yeah, I already described it. It's a cage. It's made of metal. It's just straight up metal.
There's like no other secret that I could use to open it.
Are we
Oh,
buying
you've
any
done
building?
sightseeing up there.
Not a very complicated mechanism. It's just metal bent.
Alright, I'll try and unbend the metal. I'll like use like the arrowhead of one of my arrows to try and unbend it.
Alright, I'm not even gonna make you roll for that. It's just your arrow snaps. The arrowhead left between, the shaft broken.
Can I?
Well,
Can you drop me that?
sure. And I drop him the snapped arrow.
The arrowhead.
Yeah.
No, the arrowhead's stuck.
No, it's in there. You can wedge it out.
Okay. So I wish.
What you doing? What you doing there?
So, can he rotate it at all?
Nah, it's pretty tight and uncomfortable.
Okay.
I mean, you could, but it would hurt and, like, pull hairs and, like,
Gonna brace himself. He's gonna jab the gem.
Who's making an attack roll? Ladies and gentlemen, the possibility of a new character in the campaign is exceedingly high.
That is, let's see, my attack. I wouldn't get a bonus with this, I'm assuming.
Just your strength. You're not proficient.
That's a
with
9.
arrows. As you hit it, it slips, but it slides across the leather and just kind of like cuts into your shoulder. It's like instead of going up or down, it goes to the side.
He throws it at sight.
Make an attack roll.
Good luck.
Good luck.
You're not moving.
That's a 9.
Uh-huh.
No, that's a 6.
Ding, 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 ding. Having fun, are we?
I'm gonna start swinging the cage, see if like the weight of the cage will bend the metal.
Torture this poor guy.
Nothing happens. It's just
They're,
this
like, just
awkward
slides back
swing
out.
set. It's like just kind of like as it slides back and forth in the cage. The metal does make an uncomfortable like grinding sound on itself, but no apparent change in the cage is visible.
So, are there any buildings around, or are we just in
You're a
grass?
quarter mile from the wall of the Traveler's Gate.
Hey, someone throw me a rock.
We look around for a rock.
Yeah, you find a rock, but make an investigation check to see how big of a rock.
It doesn't need to be very big, just about the size of my fist.
Okay.
Magic doesn't work though.
Investigation, that is which one? There we go.
Give me intelligence.
Have to spell magic.
16.
16. You find one about the size of your fist.
I pick it up.
What's your strength score?
I thought you did. 6.
You throw it, and it bounces off the cage. Ding! Back on.
Oh, please.
It's okay, try again.
Ah,
We throw it at him.
Make an attack roll. That's a very
Can I make like an athletics check to catch it?
No, or you'll fall off.
Wait, he's throwing it at me, right?
Yeah, you're not proficient on cage,
Not cage, but I am in athletics.
but you're swinging on a cage. This isn't normal behavior.
Or acrobatics.
14.
14, what's your armor class?
Armor class is 17.
Yeah, it passes. And lands on the other side.
Don't try and hurt me. I need the rock.
That's the only way we can get it to you. I go pick up the rock and I
Nope.
do it again.
Make another attack roll.
That's a 9.
Yeah, this time it hits the cage. Dang! It hits the ground.
Throw it.
Just adjacent.
Throw it lightly.
Wait, just give me the stone and I will pass it up to him.
Dink.
Good try, kid.
Alright, that would be another athletics check to acrobatics to climb down the cage to where Cora is to pick it up from her. You have disadvantage because it's raining.
Okay. Alright, acrobatics, so that's going to be a total of 12.
12. You slip for a second, and like as you start falling forward, just grab the cage and like flop forward. So you're doing like this reverse thing, like hey. So your legs are dangling off, where your arms are out and twisted, holding onto the cage. But you're still holding on. You slowly lift yourself back up, put your foot on the cage, and get to like a more comfortable-ish position. Your legs and your back are just in front of derelict, and you just bend down, pick up the rock, climb back up slowly.
All right,
Aware of the slick rain.
I'm going to take the rock and just start banging it on the bent part of the metal.
Alright. When the 3 or so hits, the rock breaks.
What is this thing made of?
Can I arcana?
We think
check
it's
the
metal.
cage?
Well, yeah.
Sure.
And I hop down.
Not good.
If I study this metal for long enough,
5.
I'll see how I can.
It's pretty sturdy metal, but natural.
It's normal metal, guys.
There are no runes. The only markings on it are like scuff markings from the forging or welding process they used to put it together.
If I study the metal, can I see if I can do anything? If it's magical, if it's not magical.
That would be an arcana check.
Okay, let's see. Oh, why is that roll? 10.
10. It's metal, but you remember how it was like absorbed your magic through the crystal, so anything you want to do to it won't affect it because of the gem or what sort of rock or glass or whatever is in that collar. It's not the metal itself, it's the collar.
Hey, did they use a key or anything to get you in this cage?
I think that it's magic.
Like I said, they open the top, they put me in, they close it with magic.
Is there like a headquarters I could go to that might give me something to open the cage?
Ren, he's a prisoner.
I know.
They're not going to give you the key to let him out.
They're not going to give it to me. I'm going to take it.
You're not a thief.
Can I?
You want to end up in one of these like him?
I can't believe I do it, but obviously he's important.
No, he's not.
Can I study the gem?
From the distance of it, I'd say make the check at disadvantage.
Oh.
You could ask them to boost you up.
Can you lean down? I want to see the thing on your neck.
He's laying down in the cage at this point, so he just kind of rolls over. Actually, no, he wouldn't be able to.
You have to
because
tuck his legs
are-
back in and like roll over, put his legs where his knees are on the floor, but the feet are like up the wall. Just like
That's what he does.
So,
But
not
the
disadvantage?
gem on the neck does not come out of the thickness of the bars, but it is in between the bars of the cage.
So I can see it.
Yes, you can see it.
Normal check now?
Normal check now.
Okay.
Once again, the thunder just builds up. Just
Natural 20, so 25.
You don't know the specific type of enchantment it is, but it is a strong magical enchantment. It seems the inside of the gem is what's powerful. The outside is just probably sturdy glass.
Wait,
Well, you don't know the specific name of it. What it does is it like absorbs nearby magic. It must have been attuned to the cage for that specific purpose, and it dishes it back through the color.
Find anything, Diary?
And that does take a couple minutes for that check, so they don't want to try anything while she's doing the study thing. Pulls out her glasses and puts them under the rug.
Sayer stares at the storm.
We are exploring. Not going too far away from everybody, but we are
Make an
exploring.
investigation check.
Corey is also looking at the storm and like getting closer, like crouching down to the ground.
Crouching tiger, huh?
Ren's looking for another rock.
Are you still on top of the cage? Did you drop down?
I dropped down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, she's just kind of like squatting down now.
13.
13. You find some like broken glass, which you're like, oh, snap. But then you find underneath like a rock, you move it over, because like, oh, this one's as big as his hand, right? As you push it over to pick it up, there's this caterpillar that like crawls out, but it's brown and like 4 inches long. It has these like long, fuzzy hairs all over its body, but just coming off the top. The bottom of it has these little paws, but it's kind of like crawls and does the whole slink body U thing and just continues this slink and then extends itself and keeps going.
So fascinating.
I'm staring at it.
Everyone else?
I find my rock.
I'm sitting in a
Yeah.
cage.
Anyone else besides the Sass Master?
We are making so much progress with this
I know,
cage.
it's been like 30 minutes.
Heroes of Hearth Gate.
I'm
defeated by
going to
Cage.
walk up to her while she's studying it. I'm gonna take the rock. I'm just gonna tink, tink, tink. Hard to see if I can just break it.
I'm making an attack roll.
The necklace?
Yeah.
The glass.
The glass part of it, like the gem part. Ooh.
I mean, it's a piece of
Attack roll
glass.
plus what?
Strength. You're not proficient in rocks.
4.
As you hit it, you keep like sliding off, and your fingers, the thickness of them, keep it so it's hard to get your rock in there to hit it. But it's like, you just kind of whiz around and tink, 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 and yeah, you make some scratches on it. But this method of rock usage is probably not the best.
Here, you try it. And I hand it to Derelict.
Takes the rock and drops it.
Do you not want to get out of here?
Oh, I'd love to get out of here, but
You just obviously don't. You're not doing anything to help yourself.
Sayer
He's clearly
turns
stuck.
to Ren, and in an impatient voice is just, well, if we're trying to break it, and then Sayer strides forward and pulls her longsword out of the
Ren is very amused by this.
he gets up in the cage and is just, he's standing on the sideways bars now.
Would you rather I stabbed your feet?
I'd rather you not stab at all, actually, if it's all the same to you.
It's like,
Shink. As she puts it back in her belt.
We have a question. Why don't we just go get his stuff and give his stuff to him?
well, where
You
is
have
this
things
stuff?
in your stuff that can get you out of here?
This is not magic lockpicking.
Yeah, it's just normal iron. It's the necklace. That's
Okay,
magic.
what if we pulled the thing out of the ground and carry it up in the cage?
Are you strong enough to do that?
We could try.
I'm definitely not. I can't.
No, but I'm strong.
You can.
You know, that might actually sound inspiring if it weren't coming from a pillow.
It's very
Jack
smart of you to
Sparrow.
say, but let's find out. I'm going to try it.
Make a strength check.
Okay.
Ridiculous as it sounds, Cody's gonna help.
And one of you gets advantage, you both roll, and I take the average success.
What is your strength?
I don't think we can just answer that.
Okay. I'm pretty strong.
I mean, how pretty strong is pretty strong?
On a scale of 1 to 5.
How about a scale of 1 to 20?
I was thinking more modifiers, but whatever.
Oh, like 2.
Oh, we is the same then.
Same, actually.
We does not have that modifier.
Nope.
Is what?
Strong.
Yeah,
Change the
duh.
sign and then you're
Okay, do you want to do it? Do you want me to do it?
Change the sign.
I haven't been able to do anything else, so I can try.
I mean, listen, dude, if you just put your neck right here, I could stab it once, and we'd be all done.
This
You're
coming
right.
from the person who seems like they'd like nothing more than to stab me just once and have everything be over with.
Sayer smiles.
She has
But would that
very,
be
very
just-
white teeth.
She does.
Very straight, too.
Okay.
Blinding.
Roll with advantage.
Blinding beauty, but with teeth.
Oh, I forgot to mention that, yeah. Sayer's unnaturally beautiful looking for a human.
Derelict's not impressed.
She wants to stab you.
I gather.
Okay, advantage.
Ooh.
I have a feeling that's going to be said a lot.
What, did you do that advantage?
I did. I just
Yeah.
did it at advantage. So, 21?
You pick it up, And
There's
you
two
lift
of
it
us.
from both of you from hip to shoulder, and you watch as like it's like 3 inches rises, like your hands are slipping as it goes because of the metal. And it drops back down. As it hits, you feel reverberation as if it struck a rock. But the way it shakes, you can tell that this thing goes down quite a bit.
Oh, dang it. Oh, is this not working? Oh, goodbye, sir.
Gonna go lean against the trunk.
I mean,
This
how
is the
does
person you need to help you with your thing.
I know, so we have to
can't
go
just
somewhere
leave him
else
here.
to find him. As what do you want me to do? Pick up the cage and carry it with us?
There's actually only one of me, sweetie.
I noticed. There's 2 of him.
No, there's
He's
one of
not
them.
like with you guys. We is kind of off about 5
Okay,
or 7 yards.
gesture to the child in the field.
Like looks up and he's got this caterpillar like crawling wherever you want it. I'm sure you picked it up.
Cody's gonna try to lift it again, but as she like puts it down, she's gonna try to shove it into the ground more.
All right, make another strength check.
While they're doing that, Sayer's trying to convince Derelict to let her stab the stone.
Ren is standing by a tree.
If you would
There are no
just
trees. It's
do
just
it, we could get
like
you
a
out.
long, like well,
In a body bag.
Okay, well.
No.
yeah. The forest is
If you died, I'll just leave you.
And then he is sitting down
in the grass,
in the grass. He's just bored and done.
quite camouflaged as well.
You probably can't even see me.
Significantly
He
less.
doesn't really care to.
13.
As you grab it, you start pulling, your hands slip, and kind of smack yourself in the face.
Okay, what? She's gonna try to climb. I'm gonna try to climb up to the on top of the cage and just jump on it to like try to push it down.
All right,
I already did that.
acrobatics check to see if you can climb up without falling.
Are you already? You're not still up there.
No, he's on the ground. Now.
I'm on the ground, but you can't see me.
That's a nut one.
You jump up and grab it, and slip, fall back on the ground.
What are you trying to do?
It went down further when we put it down.
Did it go down further or did it just go back to where it was?
It went down further. If we could get the bar down out of the way, I don't know, it'd be easier for us
Let
to.
me clarify on that one. When it dropped back down, it didn't sink further. It felt like the rod went way down. Like it is just naturally much longer.
Like it's a super long, heavy rod.
Okay.
It's a long rod that
I
you're not going to
misunderstood.
be able to pull out.
Hey, let's do some science here. We got a cage on one end and a person in it. It's quite a bit of weight. So let's say if they
like
put this
half a
cage
foot
with like, I don't know,
underground.
like 4 inches,
No.
it would fall over. So they have to have enough weight to compensate for him down.
That's a lot of work, a lot of distance.
And it's probably got like a mass at the end of it.
I misunderstood that. Corey did none of
May
that.
Sayer cast Sacred Flame on the gem.
At the gym,
At the gem.
make an attack roll.
Okay. And
And while you're doing that, how do you cast Sacred Flame?
so Sayer puts a hand to the chest plate that connects her pauldrons, underneath which is her holy symbol. And, like, you can see a glow start to form underneath it.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
And she speaks in a language you don't understand. One word. And a burst of radiant light shines from her hand that she's stretched forth and shoots towards the gem.
Is that language on your character sheet?
Yes,
May
that
I see your
language
character sheet?
is on my character sheet. I speak several.
Oh, well then, just text me which one it is, because
Yeah.
lots of people know different languages in this group.
Yes, I doubt anyone would know this one, which is why
I just want to double check.
This is not going to do great. 11!
11! As the white streak of flame comes at you, they're like trying to pull out, like, whoa, whoa, whoa! It smacks you right in the shoulder. Please roll damage as the flame just and throws you in the cage, like kind of bouncing off the wall on the floor.
We're getting nowhere.
The flame doesn't really like last long. It just kind of hits and then wicks away.
5 radiant damage.
The gem is still there, but you do notice that part of the collar kind of like melted up with the heat and is slowly repairing itself.
We just have to get it off fast enough. My bad.
I can cast it again.
Yeah, because you did such a marvelous job the first
If
time.
you would stand still. See, look, it's melting right now. I can just do it again.
Yeah.
And she begins to cast it again.
He drops to the floor.
She's aiming for the collar in general this time, not
Okay.
specifically the stone.
Is anyone else doing anything? Besides, were you playing bugs?
Just
I'm gonna stealth up to Balasa.
I might be bad idea if I do that.
Alright, make a stealth check.
Alright.
You are what?
Your passive
Stealth.
perception is what? It's pretty decent, I think.
Yeah, well, I rolled a 20.
I'm gonna kill you.
Non-natural.
Yeah, so
I know.
you sneak up, completely unawares as you just kind of walk through the grass, stalking like a lion, sneaking up behind Balata, which isn't hard because she doesn't have much peripheral vision.
I don't want to like scare her. I just want to like just show up next to her. Be like, hey,
Well, she's not going to notice lack of peripheral vision.
hey,
What?
I've got a question for you.
I turn to him. What?
What exactly is this symbol we're looking for? Why is it so important?
This seems like an important conversation. We're going to get to this attack first. Can I interject with
Yes.
that? Thank you. What was that roll again?
26, otherwise known as natural 20.
Hey! Sarah like just like try to get out of the way. This time the flame as it shoots from Sire like funnels down to, like this like needle width and just and like, the little gem shatters.
what the fuck? That
Now
was
can
kinda
I
good
melt
into
bars?
And you hear the like
What she said.
fused back of it kind of and it just kind of flops off and hits the cage bars.
it. Can you get out now?
Yeah, let me just bend these bars real quick, and then I'll be right out to join you.
Here,
Have fun with it.
Balasa, melt them now.
Do the thing.
You do have that one thing.
Me?
Lots of people have things to help now. I'm saying.
Magic enchantment's over. We can do what we want.
Okay. Firebolt strong enough?
So I just want to go back to what we interrupted. Would this be significant enough to interrupt the conversation?
This, why don't we just say like chronically, this is happening.
While it's being broken?
Yeah, while it's
So like this conversation happens and it breaks?
well, no, like it breaks and then this conversation happens after like she.
Alright, so we'll
helps
just come
get
back
out.
to it later then. Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
back to the broken gem. Don't forget you asked.
Yeah.
Ask it.
Ask again.
Time travel.
Is firebolt strong enough? I'm gonna try it. Okay, I grab the bars and I cast firebolt.
Firebolt is like a projectile, so it like shoot out of your hands.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot straight from my hands into the bars.
I think I have to make a save.
I think I do too.
Yeah.
You might want to stand back for this one.
I'm gonna say you have to make the save for that. Yeah, because the cage doesn't really have modifiers.
It's a deck save.
I'm not sure. What is the
Gonna
your
kill
spell?
derelict before.
Better not. You better stop!
I'm gonna be honest. Where would it say if it needs a save or not?
In
You
the
hurl a
big
modifier
paragraph
at a
description.
creature object within range, make a ranged spell attack.
Ah, so you get to make an attack.
Which
You
means
miss the cage.
you-
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah. So
Roll your attack.
cool.
Wait, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Fire.
Oh,
What did you do?
I rolled a 1.
As you grab it and start channeling it, the steam from the water on the cage begins to evaporate, and you're like, "What the?" And like, it throws you off, and then the fireball just streaks out like fireworks and explodes outside of the cage. Just a.
Can I not use any other means of melting?
I mean, you gotta mark that spell slot gone.
It's a cantrip.
Derelict's just
Is it?
curled up in the cage.
But I couldn't just try it again, could I?
Please don't.
Justice is empty.
I melt metal all the time. I'm doing it again.
Didn't you just do it with your hands without shooting stuff?
No, since you have, as you just said, melted metal all the time, that firebolt would not get it hot enough to move.
True, okay. I will not do it again then.
I mean, it was a good effort, but it wouldn't have worked anyway.
Corey's
It's
gonna
just fun
go
to
up
watch you guys try things.
and she's gonna try to bend the bars.
We tried
Go for it.
I know, but it was magic that time.
No, it wasn't.
No.
Wasn't it?
It was
No.
Baby, protein.
Listen, Corey, it's normal metal.
And
The
not
magic
school
was
of
in the
magic.
necklace. You can't bend it.
We cannot do it together.
We can try.
You're strong, are you not?
Stronger than you!
I'll take you guys to a gym and show you how it is to bend metal. But make your roll.
Ren's not trying it.
Sayara, with a very sarcastic look on her face, is like, let's try again. And then she just leans on the cage.
Did you roll? That was a great playoff.
It was like 6. Actually, no, I think it might be. No, yeah, it's 6. It's 6.
And seeing that, then Corey was like, well, fine, how are we going to get him out then?
Hey, you're on your roll. What'd you do?
I didn't roll, actually.
I saw you roll.
No, I put the dice down.
Okay, I'll do it this time. This time.
I was holding it, and it was... How do we get him out of here? It's going to be a way.
Anyone in?
You said that you got him to the top.
Can't you just
the way for the
shimmy
top.
out between the bars?
Do you think I wouldn't have tried that?
You connected
The
to
magic
something
was
magical.
gonna hurt you.
I think magic hurts it.
Why are we trying so hard to get him out?
She needs it for something.
Well, for one thing, he has my dagger. I need it back.
She wants her knife.
Get a new one.
You can get a new
No,
one.
I cannot.
We have a crowbar.
What?
What?
And you see Wiz and from outside a pack that you didn't quite see earlier, from his back, he's pulling out a crowbar.
Sayer,
You
very
what?
exasperatedly shoves the lance into the ground so it's standing up by itself, stomps over and grabs the crowbar.
Cool. So then my question is, how do you use a crowbar to open a cage that has space between the bars?
You don't.
Sayer's gonna try to wedge it in between 2 bars and tell these two, hey, Balasa and Corey, to hold the cage from the other side. Go hold the other side of the cage.
Okay.
And then using the crowbar, try to
Rabbit?
leverage it against the other bars to widen a space, kind of vertically or horizontally, into the cage.
Okay.
Do none of you know any other magic besides...
Not high enough to help you.
I'm gonna point something out though, that the space between the bars and the length of this crowbar is not gonna give you enough leverage to even hold it. It's not a huge crowbar. It's like yeah,
Then Sayer would understand not to try then.
yeah. I tried to say it earlier, but we're
Isn't
excited.
Gung ho.
there a place where there's
On the top?
where it meets the cage that could be wedged?
Yeah.
Sure, if you want to climb up there again.
Yeah, that's-
in the pouring
That's what I
rain.
was saying.
I mean,
I
I'm not
would
going
climb
to.
up there with the crowbar and you hold it still. Acrobatics.
It is an acrobatics check at disadvantage for everyone involved because it's raining and it's wet metal now.
Oh, well, that was terrible.
Even for me holding it.
That was a
You
5.
still have to climb out. What?
I'm not climbing. I'm holding it.
Vlasa walks forward, most of her cloak or whatever she's wearing being pushed by the wind, which is getting stronger, jumps, misses, and falls into the mud.
I guess I'll have to do it again. So, wow. So we're both 5s. This is a what check?
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics 12.
12. You grab onto it, but as you try to climb, you keep sliding down.
Well, this is awkward. And I go back and sit down.
Oh, this has been such a day. I don't even know all of you people. I don't know any of you.
I'm sorry it's been so hard for you.
I wasn't even talking to you.
If you'd
but
ever like to swap places, I'd be happy to take your burden
I could
for you.
probably get out of the cage faster.
Ah, yes. Well, would you like to demonstrate how?
No, you're already in it, occupying the space.
Idiot.
Child,
yes?
do you know any magic that... Anything? Please?
Maybe.
Maybe.
What do you mean, maybe?
How would you,
You
not
know
know
I do
you
not
do
know.
magic?
Scary lady? Can you... Can you hold the thing again?
Clang!
To specify, Sayer grabs the cage.
We're gonna climb up you now. And we
climbs Sire.
Very gingerly climbs up Sire.
I'll allow it.
Can you pass me my crowbar?
What?
Yes. And before I climb up into the cage, I would like to try to use... I don't know how exactly this works, but my gift.
Which gift do you have today?
Today I have the one that lets me take something.
Okay, who are you taking it from?
I would like her strength.
Alright, as Wee's head touches the top of Sire's head, Sire has to make a Constitution saving throw equal to your spell save DC.
Okay.
Saving throw, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 5.
You watch as Sire, her knees buckle, and then falls over. And Wee grabs onto the cage, hooks in the crowbar. I mean, it's like a passing moment, Sire, as your experience was you felt the hand of the kid touch your head, thinking to, boost himself up to the cage. But you felt all of your bones just go cold, and from that cold in the bones, it sinks through, but in reverse to your skin, and you hear this voice in the back of your head thank you, and you just lose control of your legs and fall over.
Corey quick grabs the cage.
How long do I like this?
A minute.
Oh
The kid too heavy for you, Blondie.
I can't respond, but
I do have to ask, what is your strength modifier?
It's +3.
So you get half of that.
Plus 1.5? No.
So you round down, so you get +1.
Okay.
Oh, sad.
So +1 do I currently have, or just I have +1?
To your current strength.
Okay. That's good to know. I'm
It
going
is.
to take the crowbar, try to put it into where, the
At the top of the cage?
meets the rest of the cage, and try to just hold on to it and just try to pry it down.
Alright, make the strength check. With advantage.
Ooh. Well,
That's a 15 total.
15. You put it in, and where are you putting it? The hook thing at the top? Or the bars themselves?
I was putting it right where it seemed weakest. I missed kind of your description because...
So imagine it's just like a wire cage that goes up and is held together with some vertical bands and horizontal bands.
Mhm.
And when they meet up, they are twisted together into a little loop. And that loop is set in that hook which was bent around the post. So the post goes up and a swan neck comes down and then curls around the hoop at the very edge of it. It's like a lantern. Like a walking lantern.
Okay. Then it would be right there to bend the hook so that it would fall out.
Okay.
Kind of a thing.
You bend it. You guys see the veins go on Wee's arms and face, and they're gray for a second, and kind of a little bit of a grayish light, and it bends ever so slightly. So it's the width of it is now greater than the metal, so it can be moved out, but it's still a super heavy cage. So you did bend it vertical.
We did something.
You did
so I see.
but we still can't get him out of the cage. Okay, we'll get the cage down. I go over to try and start lifting up. Anyone help?
Sure.
Derelict's momentarily speechless, having seen this.
We'll
Of all the people that fail
Take our
strength
crowbar
checks,
back.
the only person
Climb
just
down.
successfully do anything.
When he climbs down, just drops with the crowbar. I don't know what you're doing.
Puts it back in the bag.
The only one to successfully help without hurting me.
He's the kid.
I guess I did hurt you, never mind. Not directly, you used the dagger. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to help you.
Okay. Should I make a strength check?
The dagger didn't hurt.
Yeah, either both
Lift
of you, or
and-
you pick one of them with advantage.
Didn't you stab yourself?
No, that was the little arrow.
Head.
Cut his shoulder.
Should I roll with advantage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes, 21.
21 as you all underneath this, lifting it, and the loop of the cage barely goes over the hook, and then as all of a sudden you realize that the cage and the post are no longer holding each other up, and the full weight of it comes down on you guys like, ah! And I'm leaning to the side, and the cage topples sideways and just hits the ground. Like some mud kind of sprays up from it, and the cage rolls a little bit, but now you're in a horizontal cage instead of a vertical cage.
Alright, let's
So
try to
your
put it
strength
back.
comes back to you, but like feebly. Strength related and constitution related saves are made at disadvantage for 10 minutes.
Sarah slowly
I'd like
gets
to make an
to her
intelligence
feet.
check.
7.
Never mind.
We're going to pull the cage up right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you and I can.
Yeah, I think we can.
You just
Cool.
now it is on the ground, but the cage is still
Closed.
ring circle on the bottom with the crossbars across it that hold as the base of it. Imagine it's like a glass bottle, but it's these metal bars where it's still bent and twisted into that hook. A loop, sorry, as the hook has just been bent.
What if we try to get the bottom off?
As a metallurgist, you know that welded portions of metal are stronger than the regular parts.
Got it.
What was the thing you did before with your hands where you just tried to melt them? Like, not the fireball thing, but...
Firebolting.
No, the first thing you did. That hurt him when
But I know if that would help or not.
What, firebolt?
No, burning hands.
You can try, but you're not hopeful.
I highly doubt it. No.
Okay.
We think the scary lady is mad at us. Yeah, we definitely.
Glaring
think that's
at
the case.
Sayer will walk, leaning on her lance,
We probably
right up to
should
the
have asked
kid.
first. Yeah, we should have asked first. It's probably
then go.
wasn't very nice to just do it.
Alright, boy with magic tricks. Open the cage!
What? We
And then
don't
walk
have-
away from the boy.
We don't. What?
Sire, he's just a boy.
I don't give a crap.
Wow.
Sayer's
You
mad.
aren't a mom. Anyone would be. Is that your life?
What did you just say to
My
me?
life.
Ren's like sitting in the grass, so you can hear him, but you can't see him.
What did you just say to me?
He doesn't say anything.
That's what I thought.
The grass is silent.
Oh my gosh.
How do we get him out of the cage?
Throw us a bone here, Kyle.
Level 2. I threw someone in this group a bone, and that someone's not using it. So I'm just gonna be quiet.
I feel like I've used all of my bones. If I
feel like I
had
have
any.
any of them.
I don't think Ren has a bone for this.
The only bones I have are the ones she's trying to break.
Hey, she did her part.
Noted. Grudgingly, but noted.
Metal, fire, no.
Hey, Corey, can your pet do anything?
She looks at Uku's like, I mean, okay,
Poison based.
he's a baby, he cannot do much, but I don't know. Maybe. She looks at him and,
Does everyone have
you
ass?
think you could help with this at all?
He looks at the rain and like goes back in the hair.
I feel the same way. No, he cannot help.
Worth a shot. Still can't see him.
Was it in my text?
Hmm?
Okay, good, because I didn't read it. It's attached to this.
This is a prison. I'm not making it easy for a reason.
I know, I
We
noticed.
spent like 45 minutes on this.
And Derelict hates us even more now.
Yeah, you're not exactly giving him a whole lot to want to come out of the cage. Even if you could.
Hey, I got rid of the magic thing. Be happy.
Alright, Ren's gonna go up and he's also going to try and pull it apart because he's out of ideas.
Alright, go for it.
8.
The bars just fall apart magically, and then you realize your daydream was just so fake as you blacked out from trying to open the bar.
Ouch.
How's that working for you, Pops?
Dear.
And he hides in the grass.
Yep. That's what I thought.
Is there like magic words? Certain. Nah.
Try using regular words.
Please open. Cage.
The cage is silent.
Your wish is my command. What were you expecting to happen?
What ideas do you have? I'm trying to do anything.
Maybe you try.
Let me ask. Hey, grass boy, can it?
No.
So, pillar lady, let me. Why? Why do you need the symbol?
Because it's all I have left of. It's the people who took the rest of my family away from me. That's it. Nothing more to it. I went to find them. And I think you can understand the rest. No lies, no secrets.
Ren's ears perk up to this, and that's maybe noticeable.
You're in the grass.
Yeah,
Maybe it's
they
not.
peek up above the grass.
Him's got tall ears.
I didn't mean to interrupt the moment, Karen.
I said what I said.
Your family is gone.
Yeah, I think.
Now Ren's gonna stealth up to her again, but just appear there. And be like, if it's a matter of a family, that's something I can get behind. I think I'll help you with it.
Well,
I mean, I've tried everything I can do here. I'm talking about in the future.
I appreciate that.
Does anyone have a spell diminish?
No.
Or shrink or something?
No.
Or enlarge.
Level 2?
Level 2.
It's not easy to talk about.
I understand that.
My family is gone too. I don't know where they are, but I said I would help you find what this is, and I will. I did not know what I was getting into.
Ren just kind of grabs his necklace with the amulet on it.
Is that? For anyone who still has eyes on Derelict, you watch as slowly he fades into the shadows and disappears. And reappears standing next to Balasa.
You could do this the whole time!
To be more specific, his form recedes into his own shadow. It moves, and then he reforms.
He's a hello.
It's quiet and swift.
Did I notice?
You were talking to him.
I swear you're a sadist.
You're back.
Sayre grabs her spear and yanks it out of the
Don't
ground
touch him!
and starts walking back towards town.
You could do that the whole time.
Well, I mean, if
Why?
he could do that with the collar on.
No,
Right?
but when we got him out of the collar, would that not have been the first thing that he did? Why are you still here?
Is it?
He looks at Balasa, doesn't say a word. Just nods backward and starts walking back toward town.
We're following the scary people.
We trod along behind like Calvin Hobbes. The walk back towards town isn't long. It's just a quarter mile. Just, depending on how fast you want to get there. It's within sight. If there's anything he wants to do before you get there. If not, we're going to jump right into town. Once I find the town music. Town.
Sayre's good to go back into town unless anyone wants to talk to Sayre.
No. Ren's behind.
I think at this point all of us have realized when not to speak to you.
Which is usually all the time.
As you guys begin approaching
No.
the gates,
That's
you
an
notice
anthem.
one
That was
of
a joke.
the the guards that were standing at the gate. The doors are still open, the portcullis is still drawn. It's roughly about 12. We only spent about an hour out there, in real life as well. As you approach, one of the guards walks forward. He's wearing less, ornate armor as the guy who drove the cart, but that triangular symbol is still apparent on the shield and, on the forehead of his helmet. He starts walking forward towards you guys, like, "Hey, do I know you from somewhere?" And points at Derelict.
We is kind of hiding behind Derelict, keeping Derelict between him and the guard.
And the guard is an elf. His ears stick out of the helmet. He's got reddish hair you can see. It's not a full coverage helmet. It's more of just base utilitarian use, not quite conquering military use.
I step in front of him and say, he's with me.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to intrude, Madam Druid. Carry on.
It's
He
okay.
kind of walks back to his station.
Wow. It'd be nice to have such social influence.
Don't have that much influence.
Derelict keeps walking.
We kind of behind Derelict says, "That was a nice trick you did. We'd like to borrow it sometime." And just keeps walking.
I just watched 10 emotions go across his face.
I just saw one really slowly. Nope. As you are heading back into town, are you heading to the place I assume you are, or are you going somewhere different? Alright, as you loosely follow Derelict, you guys start heading your way through the markets again. You see a lot of the vendors are either closed and open a door to their nearby smaller sales shop or put up these large canopies. The sound of the rain hitting the stones it's therapeutic, that constant rhythm. The thunder is louder but doesn't seem closer in the town, just this. But there's that same distant gap with the flash that's almost imperceptible of the lightning somewhere out there in the ocean. The smell of salt and of fresh fish and all those other things are very strong, apparent, and pungent in this town, being so close to the coast. You also notice a lot of the massive ships at the breaker dock out in the actual ocean itself. There's a lot of tilt to them, and the masts are all up. It's preparing for the winds and whatnot, anchors and things. The town isn't as busy with the rain, but we are also most fascinated by watching the rain droplets as they race between the stones to those gutters and just fall into these little, just the hand, thumb to the forefinger width just drains and just falls down in there. There's lots of bugs crawling out occasionally, and it's very enrapturing. As you guys cross through the town, does anyone want to look for something as you're passing through the market and near that large gated place? Occasionally a guard will come past you guys, and Derelict will pull his hood, I guess, a little bit closer, or just look down. Not much, but people do have a lingering eye with your interesting band walking through. Subtle. Subtle you are not, but is anyone looking out for anything as you head to where you're going?
I'm looking for coins on the ground if there are any.
Make an investigation check.
Alright.
Is there
You a beggar, yo.
potion or apothecary shop anywhere?
Investigation. That's a
Other than the
19.
one that we encountered before.
The old
Could
lady.
you make an investigation check for me?
Kyle, I got a 19.
19. No, real coinage. There's the occasional copper. Or sometimes it's just really rusted out. Just
How many
circles?
How many copper do I find?
2.
2?
Every penny counts.
We're penny pinchers now, guys.
Not you guys.
Ren is.
Yes, quite.
That's a 7.
7. As you are walking through the shop area, when you pass through it from just the commerce gate, where it's almost like a wide street bazaar, people just trying to hawk wares, just an expansive market, some places with actual storefronts. Mm-hmm. You enter in a more commercial area of the city where the buildings are more established and the people seem a lot less bustling, trying to force goods on people, and there are official storefronts. You do notice occasionally there are 2 interesting shops, and then one that's kind of what? The one shop that makes you kind of stop and think to yourself, it's called the Urkinson Geology with an exclamation point at the end, and some of the chain is bending, ready to break, holding up the sign, and it's kind of lopsided a little bit. The wind pushing it back and forth. Not inspiring, but near it across the street, you do notice this small warehouse sort of building. It's almost like a tailor shop with a large glass window in the front next to the door. The window does have a heavy curtain drawn closed, this rich purple sort of velvety color. There is a series of like beaded curtains at where the doorway is, and you can see like a dark, probably a physical obelisk at a door, most likely behind these 3 or 4 layers of beads. There's a small sign propped up in the corner of a glass window that says closed indefinitely. But on the glass is in like semi-difficult to read script. It reads odds to their end.
Something tells me we should go into the geology shop.
Why would we need to know about rocks or
It was a
places?
joke.
I'm curious
Shalasa
to see
doesn't
what
believe you.
the purpose was of putting
The
a
mysterious
question
force.
mark,
It's,
but maybe for another time. I'm not seeing what I'm looking for.
Behind the geology shop is like an orange brick building, which vastly contrasts the wood and kind of washed up stone sort of structure of the buildings in the city. Walking around it, which the path you take carries you in front of it, it has a posted sign on a wooden post in the ground, wedged between the concrete and the stones that make up the sidewalk. In front of it, it reads the... one second. I had it. I just want to say it right for future reference. It is the Lavender Spell Pouch.
Okay. And can I see, like, is it closed too, or is it open?
You can't really tell. There's no exact windows. The door has like a small glass square near the top of it with this like drawn curtain with little like golden yarn or string, some sort of thing holding it. But it's hard to see as you're walking because it's up some steps.
Okay. I'll just keep it in mind for
Yeah.
later.
Anyone else want to look for stuff?
I am looking high and low for symbol of the sun.
Yeah, alright, well.
The one that she is familiar with.
Okay. As
The
you guys
rays
continue
like
your
the
path,
star.
you find yourselves crossing back through that main square where some of you met for the first time, and following Derelict's very direct path. You find yourself once again in the cul-de-sac with the butchery and that little halfling guy's shop and with the creepy dude, and you're standing in that cul-de-sac area.
Where are we going, Derelict?
Derelict chuckles and then, without really saying anything, just walks next to the butcher shop and then walks to the back.
We follows. Still Calvin and Hodson.
Zaire follows.
I've been behind Derelict.
Just follow where you told her to go. That's all they said. Just keep going. Okay. She follows too.
Derelict goes to the back door and walks in.
As Derelict opens this back door and enters in, you guys watch him disappear into a dark room. I'll get to what you're doing if they decide to follow or not.
We definitely does.
I follow, yeah.
Zaire follows.
Alright, and so as you try to follow in, you're kind of stopped. It's a tiny, like, closeted space, and there's another heavier wooden door with these massive metal bracers on the side of it, and held in place, this massive security door. This little wooden square behind a metal cage opens up a bit, and there's this mouth with, like, palish skin, and some yellow teeth, some missing, and this voice comes through in the space, and it goes, "My heart longs for the smell of home."
And then you hear Derelict still in the dark. Forget this wish. My home has forgotten you.
Little wooden square. You hear the sound of 3 metal beams. The door swings open, and there's this huge figure in front of you. This enormous, bald man in this, like, kind of red-splattered white apron. It's tied wide in the back, and he has these enormous arms that, like, it's not like the fit, like exercise sort of thing that Sire has, just this bulk of use and this like large gut behind underneath this powerful chest, these like black markings all over the face. This massive Goliath looks down at Derelict and he's like, "Get out of the ring!"
So
I wouldn't have asked for anything better.
Is this the butcher?
Did you try the tavern?
And he puts a hand out to the rest of you guys for a second as he asks Derelict this question.
I did, but they didn't have any rooms.
Come on in.
You're big.
And you!
And he like bends down. This form is like 7.5 feet tall. This massive figure reaches out and kind of like pats your head.
Or small.
Yes, we are.
And he stands his way back up and he's like,
Yes.
Is he just small?
I walk through his ring.
Good.
he stands aside leaving the door
And he's like, please come in.
Do I recognize this as the butcher?
You never met the butcher himself,
Okay, it is about
but he looks like a butcher.
I
Definitely.
walk in.
Chloe
yeah.
is very hesitant to go in, but she will eventually follow.
That's his
goes
friend.
in.
Okay. As he swings the door closed, he kind of like pats some dust off of his hand, some bit of the water that came from the rain, pushes up his sleeves, which is this off-white shirt, which was probably originally white, but has like old stains on it, and the sleeves are rolled up and pushed past the elbow. He walks past you guys and goes to like this latch in this small hallway that you find yourselves in. The hall has very little light, but there are 2 candles lit in a small cubby, like those little places and like missions, where they have like idols and things. But in it, there's 2 candles with just normal flame, just normal. But the wax is dyed this sort of lucid purple mixed with blues, and behind it is this small image. It's like a hand painting with a little metal frame around it of a figure twisting, a female figure, where like the hip and the shoulder are very contrapposto and the whole body turns itself, and as it does, the figure is kind of like slowly from the shoulders down evaporating into this mist. Behind are these swirling patterns and this female face with these golden eyes and long ears and these 4 curling horns is mainly solid but still like translucent as the light shifts from the flickering of the candles. The Goliath lifts this metal latch and you just and the ladder sort of extends. It's like, all right, follow down with me, and he steps down into the passage.
Does
Derelict follows immediately behind.
Does Corey recognize who's on this painting?
Make a religion check.
We's just following Derelict. Having fun.
Same as Syed.
I'm glad.
Religion. Where is it? Okay. That rolled off my page. Can I do it again?
Only if it landed crooked.
It didn't.
It did
but,
not.
Okay. 5.
5. It's in the back of your mind, and you're like, oh, I know this. But it doesn't come. The idea does not come. Those of you who followed down, you notice that you're led to another security door, which, as you didn't see on the first one, as the metal bands are holding the door together, this time in the back of it, there are these metal rods that fit through these little inlets that hold it to the floor. And this Goliath just lifts these massive metal rods from it and then twists it to this little tiny crossbar of metal, turning and setting on these little like hook places for him. And he does it for all 3 and swings it open. And as he does, you are hit with the smell of what is probably best described as old gym, like a locker room, sort of like this mask of different kind of smells of body odor and like exposed meat, like butcher smell mixed with gym locker. As you enter into this room, there's a small table, and on it a little statue. This is the first thing walking in. It's just this end table, and it has this serpent as it curls around in this semi like S sort of shape. The head comes up, and the fangs extend out of the open mouth of the snake, and from the rest of its mouth comes a dagger with these interesting carving runes on the dagger itself. Behind this desk is just a room. There's like 4 or so long tables with chairs, and there's 2 doors closed on either side, and at one of the tables closest to like the back right corner is a hooded figure. The black of the hood is drawn all the way up, and the arms are crossed, and you hear this heavy, like, snoring breathing, just this... The large Goliath turns and looks down at Derelict as he walks in and starts heading towards one of the back doors. He's like,
How'd you get out?
Bit of a long story. Had to do somewhat with this crew in tow.
Crew, that's what they are. I was going to ask what these new friends are.
He means me.
The blonde one broke the gem, and then I did the rest while they beat rocks against the cage.
Oh, they had you in the birdcage, huh? Ooh, that can't be fun. Here I was sitting here thinking that they put you in Greyhammer. Yeah, no, you wouldn't. Okay.
He opens the door, and he leans in, and he pulls the small chest out, and he comes and he sets it down.
He's like, I got your things back from the guard while they were on break.
He looks at Wee and, like, winks and taps his leg. And gestures with his hands.
Break.
Break.
There's your stuff back.
And he kind of pulls out one of the chairs from the tables and sits. The room is rectangular. The shorter ends of it being the hallway you came in, and the opposite end being those two doors, one of which he opened and pulled this small wooden with metal banded chest, and the opposite corner from the door he came in, or that he retrieved the chest from, is the snoring man at the desk, or the table, on the chair. His feet are up against the table, pushing the chair back in a recline, just very calm sleep. You can't really see any figures beneath the hood and the long cloak. The guy sits down.
So, you guys looking for work?
We're looking for answers. I need you to answer something for me.
Well, answers are a
No, there's no...
service here, so there are, shall we say, values of exchange on some things.
So you want money?
No, we yes.
The heavy hand like slams on the table.
And it's kind of obvious, but yes. Information is not cheap, especially in the crosswinds. Tri-Reach is making a lot of maneuvers against us. Oh, you know, it was not fun for you out there. They're planning something big, but our eyes haven't been able to pick out what it is yet.
He's just stretching and kind of moving his shoulders back as he's settling into this, like, childishly small chair compared to his frame.
Okay. I take out of my pocket... I got it back, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's move it on break. So
I take the I almost said belt buckle. Scabbard. Out of my pocket and put it on the table. I need to know who these people are and where they went. It would be very nice if you could tell me.
Pulls a pocket out of his apron, a small little, like, circle of metal with glass. It has this little tiny silverish string that goes into the pocket, and he sets it on his cheekbone and his eyebrow, and he closes his other eye and kind of magnifies it a bit. Just mix it up with this little monocle. Around. Sets it down. Takes it out of his eye and puts it back in the pocket.
Yeah, I recognize it. Some folks came in here, what was it, 5-6 days back?
Roughly.
Something like that. They were looking for a certain exchange of services and goods. However, they call themselves heirs of something. I don't know. But word on the street is they're the ones that put you in the cage.
Mm-hmm.
They left, they left the day before you were put in the cage. And then, so word on the street is that they were headed towards the Oracle's Orchard. Not sure if they were planning on being permanent there. They're only here for a couple days, and from the way they talked in their speech, it seemed that they had been moving around quite a bit. So if you head out there now, it's not likely you'll find them.
That was a timer for an hour and however long the camera's gonna last.
Just keep going.
So all the way, where's that?
What do they hire you for? What's so important that they decided to double cross and put you in the cage? So I didn't mean to ignore you. You seem very nice and all. I just don't know you.
That's fair.
There
Not any of
was
us, really.
a map they wanted me to acquire.
A map?
A map.
Did you get it to Needles?
Of course.
Good boy. Well, that should solve your problem then. Oh, which reminds me, they did actually honor the agreement.
And he pulls like this small pouch and hands it on the table.
That was your cut for the job.
Ah.
I don't think they ever intended it to get to you, but here you are. So, there you go.
Takes the bag, looks inside.
Do you want me to disclose what's in there publicly?
No.
Or privately?
So, wait, can you... What was the place that the people went to again?
Either way, Derelict smirks and puts it away.
You do notice it's a little bit lighter than it should be because of the information exchange here.
He's like, reruns are going to cost you.
I believe it was oracles.
Got that part, I didn't get the end.
Orchard?
Darren, you want to do something?
We just wanted to pay attention to where Derelict put the money.
I don't know where he put that small pouch. Ooh, wow, what was in that pouch? I don't know.
The mystery pouch.
I like to see. Do I notice him looking at me?
Yeah, you're very observant.
So then what's the plan? Are these clients or are these friends there, Derek?
What's that?
Are these clients or friends?
Yeah, what are we?
So I haven't hired him to do anything.
Yeah, he
Except-
owes me.
He owes you?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
How
He's out of
much
the
money?
cage.
He would have eventually got out of the cage.
He walks up to Derelict and kind of just
Okay,
tugs
if
on
he owes you,
Were
what
you wanting me to burn your shoulder?
Funny. I could run you through.
While you guys are bantering, Derek, you feel a small tug on your jacket.
How much money to hire you?
hire him for what?
What do you have?
Dude.
We?
Something?
What's something?
Wee reaches in and pulls out the 9 silver and the 9 copper from that he got back as change and just kind of like holds it out.
The glass kind of
I have something in my nose.
We are very clever, sir.
Derelict closes the hands back around Wee's money.
You keep.
And winks at him again.
We try and winks back, but the money is talking about looks very confused.
Just got unplugged.
Unplug it. Charger problem.
Ta-da.
Has you been to Oracle Orchard?
Not recently.
Well, if they're potentially not there anymore, what point is there to go there?
Find another clue, and that will lead to another clue.
What do you want?
I feel like that's pretty obvious. Derek,
Okay, how
Coins.
much do you want?
5.
5 gold.
A piece.
A piece for
That's
you.
so much.
You're not speaking words.
Not yet.
We tugs on Derelict again. This time there are 5 gold pieces in his hand.
Ren is shocked at seeing this. It's like
Derelict takes him and pats him on the shoulder.
shocked in silence.
Well, do has your pay.
Derek has his
Okay,
name.
fine.
He has his.
We are business partners. With his friend.
You guys, my phone has the answers.
They're half your character sheet on the camera.
To your MacBook?
The irony.
Or on your iPad.
Yeah. They're all Apple products.
What
So.
Apple products?
Heroes of Hearth Gate. See the logo?
Product. Sorry. They're all beep products, so they should be compatible with each other.
Don't worry, we'll edit in a little.
Will we though?
Episode 1, Jaren destroys our entire franchise.
My plan has succeeded.
Just make it a musical.
I might not, because I think it's a picture you sent me and I don't have it.
Just don't sweat it.
Cool.
I take out one of my pieces of gold.
Your clumps.
Yep. I take it out and put it on the table. Okay, you can have part of this.
As you see
But
Balance's
I
hand
mean-
leave the table, there appears to be like several gold coins, like melted into one little blob, like a Girl Scout cookie of gold plopped onto the table, and it just sits there.
Does it get very hot in your clothes? Because that is not usable anymore.
That's not something you would ask someone when you just met him. Are you talking to her?
He picks it up and like snaps it, tosses you half of it.
Catch.
Tiger, you did see what
I
she
promise
did
it's
with her
gold.
hands.
I
And
only
he drops
keep
it in
gold.
his apron, but he watches he closes the little pocket in his apron. There doesn't seem to be any like show of where it is. It seems to just like be flat apron.
Right, so what do you want to know?
Wait just a second.
About one question.
One question.
We have 2 clients,
Currency.
not 5.
She paid me. I'm talking to her. He paid you. Talk to him. You know how it works.
These 3 didn't.
So,
You probably can't see around. He's hiding in the shadows.
Good point. I don't care. They seem to be with her. Are you guys with her?
Yes.
If you can see me, yes.
It's an open room.
Hide in the shadows.
Alright. I'll answer your question, Little Red Riding Hood.
yes. It is. What is the point of going to Oracle's Orchard if they're not there anymore?
These guys are not hard to notice. We have a heavily armored furbolg. The guy's taller than me, covered in fur. Got a dude with no eyes. And some little weasel that walks around with him. That meant that as a human, not like the animal. It's pretty easy to find these guys. If you head there, you're likely to hear stories of where they went next. Or you could visit our friend Needles. He
But
might
that
be a little bit
requires
closer
more
to
money.
the, how would you say, goal. We have different terms for things.
You got
So we
it. I
noticed.
can understand them.
Either way,
Hmm.
your coin bought 2 questions. You have one more before I am going to bed because the rain it has a certain effect on people.
What does this group do? What are they called?
I honestly don't remember. They didn't like sign a contract.
You signed the contract?
All I know is they were armed to fight. They were
Mercenaries.
military. No, not quite as morally lukewarm as mercenaries. These guys seemed with purpose.
Then the purpose is...
They didn't say, I didn't ask.
But they made deal with you to do something. What was the something? You were paid. Answer question.
I like the side of the
Let's go smart.
I believe I answer to my client.
As he looks at
Ask the question.
What question are we asking?
What did I just ask? Why?
I actually don't remember either.
And all the listeners are going to be like, man, these guys are stupid. And they're like, wow, their DM's accent has changed 8 times with each guy. Just nervous. I'll be better, I promise.
I asked you, and then...
What did they hire?
Oh, what did they hire you for?
What did they?
Why was
hire
he hired?
you? Why were you hired
Hey,
To do.
to do?
Hey.
What?
guys.
What?
Like a
He already
child
said they
inside.
hired him to get a treasure map, and then he
Yes.
delivered it to his boss.
Okay, no, there's more details to that.
I didn't see what's so funny.
Well, I could always just pin his tongue down the bottom of his chin.
She's like crying. The Goliath is like tears. Pause.
No, I don't.
Oh,
need
well,
him.
if you go meet Needles, you'll understand.
I like that.
Who is Needles?
And
I guess he's not a
companion.
treasure map.
I work for me. I don't have a boss.
I didn't ask or say you had a boss. That's what she said.
You should tell that to the Triad Reach.
No. Well, let's just say I got the map. I did my job rather well. And this Needles may or may not have made a copy for me.
Needles is good with his hands.
So you have a copy
his
of
name
this
seems-
map. But why?
If you pay a guy that looks like him or me, are you gonna be honest?
No, do I
Because
look
we
like
know
I'm
when
an
people
honest
like
person?
you walk in here aren't gonna be honest with us. It's called insurance.
That I can understand. Fine, keep your secrets. Let's go to Oracle's Orchard. Or I'm going to Oracle's Orchard. You can come with me or not.
By all means.
Do you have anything better to do?
That would depend.
Which raises the question. I do own a butchery shop. Do any of you have any interest in buying or selling any meat?
I wonder if Fred would have picked up some game on the way to this place.
Did he?
I'm gonna say he did. And it's in his pack. He'd be like, got some for you.
You got some rabbits.
Some rabbits for you. Just
Our
that
friend
right?
can't handle anything without copious salt. And I know how you make them.
He like stands up in the small chair, like bends at the legs, and he using his arms to lift up. Walks over to the other door and reaches in, and he pulls out this small hand axe. Right, it's about to him it looks like like a butcher's axe, but to you it's like a war combat axe. It has a small spool, like a rod with some chain wrapped around it that connects at the hilt. Where the blade connects to the actual handle is a design of like an open skull, where the teeth down and upward have the open mouth of the blade coming out. He sets it on the table.
You pick that up a certain amount of time ago from a certain place, from a certain individual, and it'll run you a certain amount of money if you're interested.
How much are you talking?
Well, maybe you should ask it.
Grabs the axe.
Now the rest of you are going to be witness. In your head, you hear this voice like,
Why are you with these idiots?
In his head, Derelict responds, "It's a temporary contract."
Then terminate it. Nothing is worth humiliation.
and then this time the Goliath is like,
Yeah, it's a real pain. You can let go anytime. It doesn't follow you.
and he takes it over your head.
I'm thinking 4-3.
3.
4-3.
Sayre is intently watching the Goliath.
As I do this,
No, not you.
The Goliath,
The
yeah.
Goliath. Just like,
While they're bartering, Wee's interest has been piqued, and he's gonna try to touch the axe.
right as you touch it, you hear another voice in your head.
Not a room in here, is there?
Nah, it's out loud. Nah, it's pretty crowded up here.
The Goliath is gonna pick you up, like, smack the axe out of your head, put you back.
If you don't have the salt for it, then maybe you should go grocery shopping to pick up some funds for your trip. You got a long way to either Melodier or the Oracle Portrait. It's up to you guys. I do actually sell meat upstairs if you need anything.
I'm gonna walk up to him. I've got like about 3 rabbits. What can I get for them?
Yeah. Ask me that one upstairs. Different kind of meat, friend.
Okay.
Quick question: would I have the means with what I got?
The funds?
No.
Okay, that's what I
Yeah, no.
Fun.
I might need some help acquiring the necessary means.
Well, we don't have a whole lot going on right now. But if anything comes up, I'll let you know. And you should lay low. You're the only one in the bird cage. Probably smart you guys leave as fast as you can.
From this town?
Unless you want him back in the bird cage. And try to find needles on your own.
I barely know him, but...
Sounds like you need help. What do you need help acquiring? We can make trade. You help me, I help you.
Funds.
So funds for what?
Aid.
Typical.
That refers to so many things.
The world runs on money.
Not
This
my
one's got
world.
sense.
My world doesn't run on money. I don't need it.
Yeah, talk to the druid.
If only, though.
I have it, I don't need it.
You still are a part of it.
Unfortunately, I got dragged into it, yes.
Hey, Derelict, are we done here?
I think so.
Yeah, you know your way out. Jahar's blessing, bro. And safe journey. Alright. I'll walk you out.
Can I talk to you upstairs about the
He
rabbits?
takes the axe off the table, puts it back in the closet, and starts walking across the room.
Exit this way.
We'll follow.
Okay.
You're fine.
Are we upstairs?
As you are led back up the stairs, through the hallway, past the door, and back to the outside, him closing the doors behind you the whole way.
Before, as everybody else is filing out, Wee's gonna kind of be close to Derelict and just gonna say, are you gonna help her find her family?
Is that your second question?
No. My second question is, are you good at finding people?
Shots fired.
Searching people.
How much would it cost to help me find my mom and dad when you're done with what her thing is?
Do we hear any of this?
Everyone else is gone. This is just us. Last one.
That was Jenica.
Derelict opens up his hand, looks down at what's already there, and says, 5 gold. And closes his hand around the coins he already gave him.
Aww.
Kind of grabs around your leg for half a second.
Why did we bring a child into this? My heart!
Did you open the chest with your stuff, or are you carrying it with you? I was unsure. Your possessions from the quartermaster, as it were.
Yeah, he would have just opened it, pull out his bag, his bow, rapier, all the stuff.
The things. Alright.
I want to go around into the actual butcher shop.
It is still closed.
Still closed?
The door is still locked.
Lock on it.
Bang on the door.
Once again, the halfling pops out of the door. You again!
I swear.
Well, you're already doing it!
I have some rabbits. Could I maybe sell them to you?
No, just a reminder, he popped out of the door next to his building. His is the building next to it.
Oh, I'm like, I'm not here for you.
Do I hear it?
Yeah, you're all here. You're all coming around.
I'm gonna poke my head around the corner and go, boo.
Closes the door.
Nice save, Sayer.
Saya, you are terrible.
I'm gonna knock on the door
And then,
again.
like, the window shutters, like, he's like, and closes them.
I just give him a side eye. So did you not answer the door?
No. I got some rabbits to give him.
It's late. Let's find a place to sleep. Come
1
back in the
o'clock
morning.
in the afternoon.
Oh, wait, it's 1
It just
o'clock in
seems
the
late because of
afternoon.
the heavy rain
Oh,
clouds.
never mind. I
It's
just
one of
want-
those days where time feels like it's going super slow, but it's, still just going normal pace. The day began about 11, 12, back to 1.
Is there a place that Sire knows of in town where she can go work out?
Actually, yeah. There's what's called the Scale Hall, or the military training grounds of the Triad Reach Military Corps.
She would go to the Scale Hall.
Okay, there's also the Temple of Diet. There's an exercise room in the basement.
Sweet. So, to the rest of the party, Sarah's gonna say, okay, well, if we're going somewhere, which I don't even know that I want to, we're gonna need provisions. So we're gonna need stuff. And I haven't worked out yet today, so I'm gonna go do that. So if any of you need me, you can find me at the Temple of Diet. Thanks. And she...
Are we staying somewhere together? I've guessed that we're helping you. We've decided that. But where are we going to stay?
Just go get rooms at the inn that I'm staying at.
I would be fine to sleep outside without all of you, but
Well, then you can
I can
sleep.
do that too, actually.
You can sleep
weird.
outside. I am getting a room for anyone
Sticks and leaves.
willing to help me.
I've been a little while without a roof. I think I might join you on that one.
Do I have to pay
mind the
anything?
roof, but
No, it's on me.
Then yes.
So how am I going to do that?
do you have another number of gold in your pocket?
question.
I mean, it's just most people don't take lumps. So
Most people are not that strong. They cannot just break them off of the pile of gold that you just handed to the man.
Some sentences.
can I find a forgery? Someone who could
There are many places throughout the town, but you haven't been here long enough to know
I
where
know
they
a
are.
forger.
Okay, I'm not that kind.
Those of you who have stayed within the city for a little while
Thought you had
also
left.
know that there is a great place for provisions. It's an all-around general grocery store. It is called the Family Grocers.
Oh.
Most things are like family this or like the brothers this because this town's central worship center is the Temple of Nahala, the god of siblings, family, and that sort of thing.
Well, why don't you take it to, I don't know,
Do you think a jeweler
a
would
blacksmith,
be
a
able to?
jeweler? Or
Okay.
you could even
Point
try
me
the
to
temple.
Temple of what?
Daya, they might exchange it. They like melting gold into things.
There's a bank.
Or the bank.
Okay, point me. Where
Two
can I
words.
find these places, and I will take care of groceries. I mean, not some things.
So having been in the town for a bit and knowing generally where these locations would be, I'd be like, that way, that way, that way, temple's that way.
As Sire gestures to about 5 different directions in a massive city that none of you have lived in, and walks off.
Towards the temple.
Not far. It's only about 4 or 5 steps.
Saya, you literally just gestured in every direction. I have not been here that long.
It's a city!
Do you see who I am? I don't do cities.
Yeah, that's why you should stick around more.
That's exactly why I don't want to stick around.
Jeez. You're so much less needy in nature.
I wonder why that is. Preferred terrain. Apparently the city is your preferred terrain.
I'm gonna make an
I
urban
hate
druid.
cities.
It's called a bomb.
Yeah, I hate you.
Okay, I'll get to that eventually.
Gotta kill all the velocity.
Talk to the concrete building.
Talk to like rats and pigeons.
Seaweed.
Familiar with
I mean, Jade didn't.
Could have
Never
passed through
gets that,
trees
but...
and passed through walls.
Oh no.
All right.
I suppose I can show you around.
That would be wonderful.
Because I can remember somewhere if I've
I'm
been
not
there,
paying
but if
for
I'm
it.
just pointed in every
Let's go to
direction.
the store first.
A store.
Sarah starts walking towards family
The
grocers.
family grocers.
grocers.
But don't you understand? I can't buy anything with. I pull out half the hunk of gold.
It's still gold.
I don't
You
think.
can still trade with it. It
Okay.
just takes a little bit longer because they have to pull out like a scale and an abacus and like make sure it's real.
Got it.
If you
It's
don't want
just
to have to go
take-
through the trouble, I have some money. I don't
No.
mind using it.
Well, let's just go see
hear you rubbing
what
my
we need
eyes.
to buy and take care
Yeah, you
of
can
it
use
when
rubbing
we
the
need
skin.
it. There's only so much to go around. Okay, vamos. I mean, let's go. I just did that naturally. Let's go.
Claire starts leading them towards the grocery store.
Alright, the grocery store isn't super far away. The family grocer, let me just make sure I find the right place. It is further down the road, away from like the massive manor in the center of town, and more towards the opposite end of town you guys haven't been to yet. At this point, you've all realized that there on the coast are these 3 massive lighthouses that just stagger perfectly between each other, distanced of the city's coastline. So you're heading directly towards one of them, and then randomly you just hang a right and just turn away from it. As you get closer, you notice a wide canopy sticking out of a building that has several little wooden stalls full of produce like watermelons and apples and like just basic generic fruits, and an open door, double doorway which leads into a more well stocked and a little bit more diverse grocery store. The sign is this like little apple, right? And the worm popping out spells the first part of the F, and it says family grocer.
That's cute.
Inside you see a thin, well-dressed man. He's got long black hair that's slicked back and kind of like pulled together in like a loose like bun, which is strange because like the top of the hair is slick, but then like loose bun is this bizarre combination. Probably been working a lot all day and had to just tie it together. But he's walking around with an apron, which is only about halfway to the waist down. Walking around, he's got this basket with different vegetables and fruits, and he's sorting them and putting them around. And he takes one and he puts it at a different place. And he picks up the orange and puts it where it's supposed to be. And he notices you guys come. He's like, "Ah, good day! You guys liking the rain?
No.
Come on in! Family grocer's always open." Well,
There's something is
I have to sleep eventually, but I'm always happy to help out some good friends. And he puts the basket down. What can I get you today?
Oh my god.
I'm just gonna look around. Do I see any great deals?
Great.
Clearance section.
Your coupon proficiency does lead you to a great deal on cabbage.
These are great deals.
Actually, while that's
How
happening,
much is a cabbage?
do I see a thing for onions?
Yeah, there are 3 varieties of onions. There is like yellow diced, like for cooking onions. There's like regular red beet onions, and then there's like a specialty house homegrown onion, which is a bit more expensive, but they're bigger. That's about it.
Okay.
How much is the cabbage?
It's 5 for a copper.
This is a great deal.
Pretty good.
We're gonna go grab an onion. Just
Oh, those are, that's 2 for a copper. Okay.
copper comes out.
It's like looking at you guys and a couple of hands like, I will write you a receipt.
Grabs another one.
You got two.
Walks over to like a small desk and pulls open a drawer and pulls out like a piece of paper and starts drawing on it. So, how can I help you guys? You just regular shopping? I can be quiet. It's all good.
Question. You don't happen to have any bags of holding, do you?
I got some bags that hold a lot of potatoes. But sadly, no.
Sayre's leaning against the doorway, bored out of her mind.
Is there a place in here that you can sell meat? Do you do meat here?
I do have some rabbits.
There is a great butcher.
He won't answer
And
his
he's
door.
closer to where the boats and stuff are.
We know where he is. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. He's great. He's got great prices. Excellently cut meat. It's always clean.
Except he's not open.
He does that. He usually gets tired in the rain. You're gonna come back tomorrow. He should be open.
Well, let's
Just
just
ready
hope
for
my
business.
rabbits don't rot by then.
We can just cook them and eat them.
That's right. I'll go get the cabbage.
I do have some great cooking firewood in the back. It's pre-chopped, bundled up for you guys. It's a steal.
How much?
2 copper for a bundle, about 5 or 6.
Maybe don't use that.
I think I'm
further
gonna go
on
to
this.
cabbage instead.
So I go grab 5 cabbage for 1 piece of copper.
Alright. Yeah. Starts writing up receipt. Is there anything else you guys are looking for?
We just need to buy provisions to make it to
We
Oracle's
also got
Orchard.
a small pharmaceutical part in their side. You got, some ointments for saddle soreness, headache relief.
Is it all just produce?
Mostly, it's just like a grocery store. There's like a small, pharmacy rack in the back. There's some spices in one corner as well.
It's going to take a very long time to get there.
Do they have herbs and stuff here too, like spices? Do you have herbs or? I guess you said you had pharmaceuticals, so.
We got herbs for, there's a few here and stuff. You're gonna have to go to the apothecary if you're looking for anything major or illness and stuff. But we do have some nice cooking herbs if you're looking for some nice thyme or perhaps some oregano, or if you're truly looking for a high quality meal, then you're gonna want some saffron.
I think I can find a lot of those spices on my own.
Good to know. You can find what on your own?
I could probably find some of
Saffron.
those spices on my own.
Okay.
So you don't have to, it's right here. And it pulls up this little bundle of some saffron.
If I could save myself some money, I'd like to.
Hey, it's fair.
So Derelict's gonna wait for him to be well in conversation with other people and just try and pocket some produce.
Alright, stealth check.
Oh my gosh.
Alright, sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand, alrighty.
That's wonderful.
18.
18, yeah, he's just talking to you guys the storm. He's like, man, the weather is just nuts today. I mean, it just came out of nowhere. We had that great public event this morning. We didn't see what it was. I was kind of busy. But, I had to unload some new crates that came in with this new shipment. Some really scary lizard guy walked past. I was very concerned. But he didn't stop by and get anything. It was interesting. You don't often see lizard people, except for that Dragonborn guy. He's awesome. Did you see that guy? Oh, man.
Tyrannus is pretty cool.
You know him.
Isn't that the
Yeah,
one
he's
you...
one of my bosses.
Let him know that good old Mordecai from the family grocers thinks that his helmet is amazing.
Yeah, I'll tell him.
Please
She's
do.
not going to.
Is there anything else I can help you all with?
Do you have good cheese, good bread? Do you have preserved meat?
We have several kinds of cheese and 4 selections of dried meats.
I've got the meat covered.
No, like for a long time.
Okay.
We can eat that.
He is a ranger.
I
We have
just
Jack,
want
we
my
have
meat.
cheddar, we have
I'm
Swiss.
very
yeah,
experienced in hunting.
Provlat. We have another one.
You don't by chance mean provolone, do you?
That's the one!
You said cheddar.
Yeah, we have a
provolone.
variety of, I don't know why, but they describe the intestinal flavor of a cheddar with how sharp it is. And I'm not sure why.
So I was just kind of.
Until my friend lost his tongue.
Why would
Like,
he?
so I'm just like, my daughter thinks that's one hilarious.
What's
You guys
your
would-
the
I
hardest
think you would
cheese
all
you
really
have?
like my daughter. She's great, super nice. I feel like you guys will get along really well. She's not here right now.
How
She's
old
out
is
with
she?
some friends. Oh man, I always forget her age with her other sisters.
Gosh, you've got more.
Oh, I got a whole crew of them.
You get a little family, man?
Oh, of course, it's family grocer.
I get it. I love families. They're great.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got a little girl of my own.
Oh, that's just
What?
precious.
Yeah.
You carry around like an image.
I do, actually, yeah.
And you see him pull out his amulet, which he opens to reveal a locket, and shows you the picture.
Balasa
Oh,
goes over to go look at the
Age.
locket and
She's
see the
adorable.
picture.
You should see her when she's happy.
What does she look like?
Meanwhile,
Describe.
perception check, see if you can see it.
I wanted to go look at it.
What was your roll for your sleight of hand?
18.
You get all of what you were going to grab.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. In that process, he tosses a couple apples to Wee and pantomimes pocketing them.
Wee does that and then just goes to the onions, and while he looks distracted, just shovels onions in her bag.
Look what you taught the child.
I don't have any pictures of yours.
Shoveling onions.
That's someone in the house. We're not on me right now.
That's all right.
Major
What are
thief.
the names?
The new thief.
Well, I'm not sure I like telling names of strangers if you're just passing through. But, tell you what, just buy some produce.
I already bought the cabbage.
The cabbage was going bad. I'm going to be honest with you. You want to eat that as fast as you can.
Well, we're gonna use it tonight, so it's all right.
All right, well, that's great. Is anyone else getting anything?
Do you have any kinds of berries or fruit around?
Have any
here?
kinds of what?
Berries. Like, oh Goodness
I think she
Strawberries,
says
man.
Yeah, we got the red ones, and we also have a house specialty, purple strawberries.
What?
purple strawberries.
How
How did you come across those?
I grew it myself.
Really?
It's on like a counter next to the red ones, and he takes the red one, just like eats it.
Do you have
It's not the green
Do
part.
you have any
drops it.
pomegranates? Or...
Those don't really grow well this side. But I have 3.
you have 3?
He like reaches under the counter.
What?
How big are they?
Very big.
Pomegranate size.
Pomegranate size.
Wow.
That's a pomegranate size.
I got a 13 for the perception.
Gonna get some
Yeah, you saw it.
strawberries.
How much for all?
Does Ren notice? Oh wait, you want me to describe her to you?
Yes, I said, what does she look like?
So
I mean,
in-
because I'm trying to see the image and I can't just
Shameless.
see
in
the
the
image.
locket, there's you see three elves. One is Ren, the other is a slightly shorter elf, and one is sitting on like a little table. The one on the table you assume is his daughter, and she's got silky blonde hair, big green eyes, and she's just got the biggest smile on her face.
Oh, she's quite adorable. How old is she?
She's 5 years old. She's so cute.
5?
Just look at her. See, guess what her name is. Do you want to guess?
But lots of cringes and just can't. I guess you can't see anything. Never mind. But
The folds deepen.
her fist clench. Her name.
I'll just tell you. Her name is Emmy.
Emmy. That's adorable.
She's my little precious girl.
She's 5.
She's 5 years old.
Where is she?
Not with me right now.
Not with you.
She's not dead. Not dead.
You like some stuff pushed over, and you see more like, oh, you have me on the edge of the seat.
Oh no, she's not dead. But
That-
Where do my
That's-
onions go?
That's a blessing.
He like goes over.
Yeah,
to
she's-
okay, it's just like putting more onions.
that's why I'm so like
Oh no.
prone to help you, because if you lost your family, I don't know what I think I would do if I lost mine.
Yeah.
So if I can help in any way with that, I feel like I'd be doing myself a favor and my family as well. And I don't know, how do I press it? I press a little button.
You want to do that?
Not
with a group.
Not a button. Oh, we don't have to do it now. But
Just saying, I haven't practiced my Emmy voice yet. I feel like give me a little more longer notice for that.
I mean, I've got an Emmy voice if you want me to.
Hey,
do
knock
it.
yourself out, bro.
So I'm like, listen to this. It's like, I love you, Daddy. And then another one is like, stay safe out there, Ren. I love you. I'm like, this is what they sound like. It's really all I've got to remember them while I'm out, but it helps me remember why I'm out here doing what I'm doing.
With that, Sayar leaves the grocery outlet.
More like, if I can fit anything, and she's gone.
Alright.
She does that.
Wait, I've got a drawing if you want to see what's in there.
That
Oh, yeah.
that is your family, and those are their voices.
That's their voices. Aren't they just so precious?
It is very precious. She has a very sad tone, and she just kind of looks down and grabs her clothes and kind of actually walks away.
Wait, are you alright?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. Your daughter's adorable.
Corey walks away during the middle of the conversation too.
Did I do
Can
something
I-
wrong?
No,
Walk
no.
away.
Over to him with the pomegranates. I want to buy all of the pomegranates. If it is possible.
Each one
what you saw.
is gonna run you 1 silver.
Oh, so that was
I can
the
do
woman
that.
that you drew.
Do you have change?
Huh? Yeah.
I do indeed.
Okay.
That's
She pulls out 1 gold piece and gives it to him.
Pulls out
Show it to
3
the camera,
silver
why not?
and puts them in a little
Oh,
brown
yeah.
bag.
Camera.
Camera's there. You only have to point at one.
Yeah.
Oh. You can see it 3 times. Wow.
Oh.
Anyone else need anything?
Where did it go? Oh my god.
We have his cheeks full of onions.
We came here for provisions.
Like, just bite
That's
one still happy
500
in his hand.
miles.
Yes, I know. So I'm here to buy hard cheese and what else is worth buying? Bread.
We can probably resupply.
Fresh out of bread, I'm afraid to say, but we do have plenty of cheese.
Okay, hard cheese. What hard cheese?
Like I said, we have cheddar, we have Swiss, we have Oh crap! It wasn't that. The
Provolone?
other one, and yeah, we got Jack. We got plenty of cheese.
I'll take your cheddar then.
All right,
Don't
we
love
got
it.
5 sizes, different diameters,
Gosh.
You said what?
I said already did.
and various sharpness.
I will take
How the cheese works, not really sure.
your sharpest and largest wheel.
That's a silver.
I give him 1 silver.
All right. It's a large wheel of cheese, but it's got the wax seal around it. It's like it's easy to be transported. And he reaches under his desk, right? And he pulls out this small, little wax wrapped around this sort of brownish, sort of bronze sort of color thing. He walks over to Wayne. He's like, "And this one is for you, little guy. I have a feeling you're gonna be something special." He stands up to the rest of the group. Anything else good old Morty can do in the family grocery for the rest of you guys?
Nope.
You see me prepping up for something big. We do have a ration promotion, as my wife's way I can put it. We got a whole pack for about 5 days, roughly about a goal.
Of what is it?
It's got everything. You got some bread, leftover dried, a little hotter. We got some hardtack, and we got some cheese.
Okay,
There's
I'll
also
buy
a
it.
little bit of this interesting, little crystal powdery stuff you can put in your canteen, and voila, your water now tastes like juice.
That's it? Okay.
Crystal light. How much was the pack again?
One pack for about 5 days. It'll last one person about 5 days. It runs about a gold. Or
How
I guess if
many?
you have all 5 of you, hey, it's 1 day.
Wow.
Perfect. How many do you have?
Well, we've got some in store right now, but I got some in my storage unit just across town. Got about 20 in the storage unit. I got about 8 in the shop right now.
I will buy 6.
All right, I'll go get them. You want to get your coin ready? I'll be right back. And he walks over to the back door and kind of leaves.
Gosh.
We kind of tugs on Balassa's poncho and says, "You like cheese
Yes.
a lot.
Cheese is good.
What's this?"
I take the little tiny cheese, right?
Butterscotch.
It's a butterscotch. No, okay, it was. You said wax, anyways.
So there's wax around it like a little clear twist.
Gotcha.
Oh.
And I open it. It's sweet. And you put it in your mouth, and
Have you ever had sugar before?
No.
Just
What
the
is that,
gateway
Trevor?
to the infinite expanse of everything has opened.
I feel like that was not a good idea to give to him. Your
I
eyes
know.
just got so wide.
I wasn't the one who gave it to him. He gave it to him. The storekeep. Anyways.
That man should have known better if he has children.
What do you mean? Children love candy.
Right, just to expedite time a little bit, the traveler's packs are provided to you guys for your 5 days of rations. Pay, obviously I don't have the coin for it. You guys going to stay somewhere or meet up or what?
I'm taking whoever will come with me to an inn.
Where was the inn that saying
We're going to go to the
Rest a spell.
Rest a spell.
Alright.
Go back there.
Because I know that one.
Also the dance competition.
Yes.
So as the day winds to an end, you all find your way eventually back to the rest of spell. Freshly exercised, so I rest you with your food and ill-gotten produce. That is where we will stop for the night. Next time we'll pick up and maybe get to a combat encounter. We don't know. Maybe we'll buy more cheese.
Wow. That's fair.
Just the last little note. Thank you once again. This is our first episode. We are very, very excited to continue this project. Everyone here, we've been working really hard on this, and we've got a lot coming. We got a lot to do today, and there were some cages that got in the way. But we hope to see you next time. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave us a like, comment, share it with your friends or family if they play or want to watch a bunch of nerds at a table doing kind of nothing. But we are very grateful for you. And thank you once again. Anybody else have anything to want to say before we close off?
Good night. Take care.
All right.
Keep on
That's it.
adventuring.
Yeah.
Hello, this is Sarah, and thank you so much for watching or listening to the Heroes of Hearth Gate. If you liked our content, let us know with a like and subscribe. The next episode is coming soon, and we hope to see you there.